field is in perfect shape. The grass it's cut in a way that helps you if you are fast. It's a speed track down there.
It's a hybrid Bermuda grass, natural playing surface. The stadium height is 122 feet from the playing surface to the top of the grandstand, approximately 12 stories. So if the players look a little small to us, it's because we're way up there, folks, a little higher, and we need oxygen.
Well, it's a bird's eye view, and I sort of feel like I'm looking down on the field, not out at the field.
This is the 35th Fiesta Bowl. This is also going to be the last Fiesta Bowl in this stadium because the Fiesta Bowl moves to Glendale, which is due west of here, in 2007, and the Inside.com Bowl will be played here next year, or I should say this year. So Insight.com moves from the baseball park to here. This game moves to the Arizona Cardinals' new stadium out in Glendale.
And Arizona State University stays here in Sun Devil Stadium.
Meanwhile, a couple of freshmen deep for Notre Dame. DJ Horde on the far side and David Grimes on the near. Josh Houston, who's an outstanding kickoff artist, sends it high, and this time it's a bouncer, a knuckler. Bounces, picked up by the upback. It's by Schwab. Schwab to the 25, up to about the 27 to 28-yard line. I'm really surprised at that, Alan, because Josh Houston usually kicks the ball so deep that you can't return it.
He actually slipped on the play. His plant foot slid out ahead of him, which caused him to sort of yank the football. He's actually down there replacing the turf. The area where he slipped, so uncharacteristic of Houston, who's, like you said, a very good kicker, but for Notre Dame, good field position. 1st and
10 Irish at their own 28-yard line. This one is about to get underway with the first offensive play. Samardzija to the right, Stovall out to the left. Double flanker, tight end is to the right. Play action, back to the goal. Quinn going deep. Samardzija down there, makes the diving catch, and he dropped the ball. It was about a half step too long for Samardzija down around the 25-yard line, but they had him deep down the middle. And, Alvin, you don't get many opportunities like that one.
You don't, and I think they baited Ohio State. They come out with 2 tight ends, 2 receivers. They send Samardzija down the middle, Stovall on the left side all the way down. Both guys open, and the ball just inches too long.
2nd down and 10 as the Irish go deep on 1st down. They line up in an I tandem now. Tight end left, slot to the right. Walker the tailback. Quick throw out to the near side. Samardzija at the 30. Turns the corner up to the 35 and is out of bounds at about the 35.5-yard line. So he'll pick up about 7.5 yards on that play. Now it becomes 3rd down and short, and the Irish will have to convert here. On 3rd down, Notre Dame 49% on the year.
Which is best, 9th best in the country. That time they caught Ohio State in just a little linebacker blitz, and James Laurinaitis comes on the blitz, which leaves Samardzija outside, gets a good block out there, and gives him a comfortable 3rd down.
3rd down and 3 with a ball at the 35-yard line. Stovall and Samardzija wide to the left. Samardzija in the slot. You got a double slot. Slot out to the right. Shelton in the game. Fasano in the slot. Pump fake. Handoff goes to Walker. Walker's got the 1st down. And then some. Past the 40. Up to the 45-yard line. And it'll be a 1st down for the Irish at the 45. 9-yard pickup for Darius Walker on his first carry. Came into the game with 1,106 yards, averaging almost 5 yards a carry.
Well-conceived play, Tone, because the pump fake, which freezes the linebackers, allows the offensive linemen to sort of outflank the defense and provides a nice hole for Darius Walker to go in, get the 9 yards.
1st and 10, Notre Dame, the ball at the 44-yard line, hash mark far side. Irish again showing double slot with a 1-back set. Buckeyes with Foreman up on the line of scrimmage and a linebacker blitzing. Handoff to Walker. Shakes one tackler. Gets into the secondary. In Ohio State territory from the 50 down to the 46-yard line. It almost enough for a 1st down.
And that time Ohio State counters with its nickel defensive package. They bring one guy out of the secondary. And that guy who comes from the secondary shakes the tackle. And it allows Darius to get up and almost make a 1st down.
Anthony Schlegel, the 5-year veteran out of Highland Park, Texas, the middle linebacker, came on the blitz. And as he did come on the blitz, Darius Walker just ran right by him, although he got a piece of Walker's arm. It didn't stop Darius. They're going to have a measurement here. The stretch of the chains, and it's going to be very, very close. First down, says the referee. And the officials for today's game, all from the Southeastern Conference. The referee is Steve Shaw. So we will hear his voice from time to time.
You know, and one of the things you do, this is the Ohio State defense, number one ranked in the country, but I think that first play that Notre Dame threw where they stretched the field out, now you got those guys playing back a little bit, and you can hit them with a run.
Stovall wide to the left. Walker empties the backfield. It's 3 out to the right and 2 out to the left. From the shotgun, Brady Quinn looks to throw, fires the pass, got his man. Stovall makes the grab. He's down at the 20-yard line. Maurice Stovall high in the air for a first down at the Ohio State 20.
Catch Ohio State in a bad coverage. One single safety. They send Stovall up to hash, and the safety is coming over on the other side of the field to try and get Samardzija. Quinn notices it and hits for a 26-yard gain.
Fasano, the tight end, goes to the left side. Offset eye this time. Schwab wide, offset to the right. Slot to the right side. Man in the slot is Samardzija. Toss goes to Walker. Walker can't go inside. Goes to the outside. 20, 50, 10, 5. Touchdown Irish. Notre Dame goes 72 yards in 6 plays, and they've taken the early lead.
And good blocking that time by the right side of the offensive line. Mark LaVore, Dan Stevenson, and a good bit of running by Darius Walker to be patient on the run, and then once he finds the hole, just explode upfield.
Longest touchdown run of Darius Walker's career. Previous was 17 yards twice against Washington in 2004, 2005. 20-yard touchdown run for Darius Walker. Snap, spot, kick. Fitzpatrick's boot is up, and it's good. Notre Dame has taken a 7-0 lead. This is Westwood One's explosive coverage of Notre Dame football. An excellent 72-yard drive to open the game in 6 plays. Outstanding play by the offensive line. We'll name the offensive lineman of the game. Brought to you by Guardian Life Insurance. It's a place we all want to be. Go there with Guardian. Walker with 39 yards in that drive and 3 carries. Brady Quinn, 2 out of 3, 36 yards. And he missed a big one with Jeff Samardzija. And Notre Dame, with that touchdown, has now scored a season record 427 points. The other record was back with that great 1991 ball club that scored 426 and should have been a national champion.
No doubt about that. But I tell you, on that drive, Charlie Weiss and his play calling, plus the execution, fabulous, because it had Ohio State on their heels. They were in the wrong defense for the wrong plays, and Notre Dame with excellent execution. But now, Tone, it becomes interesting anytime Notre Dame has to kick off because of who Ohio State has back deep.
Yep, San Antonio. I want to say San Antonio. It's Santonio Holmes over on the far side and Ted Ginn on the near side. And we saw Ginn take one back 100 yards against the Minnesota Golden Gophers in the Metrodome.
That's right, Ted Ginn, number 1 in the Big Ten in kickoff returns, averaging 29.6 yards per return. I think that you probably shouldn't kick it to him.
Well, we'll see what happens, because the last time we saw DJ Fitzpatrick, he missed 2 field goals. He also missed an extra point, which cut his string at, I think it was something like 60 in a row. And right now, his leg appears to be okay, and he's 100%, and we'll see what he can do here on the kickoff. Ohio State moving right to left or south to north on your radio dial. Here's the run up by Fitzpatrick. And the kick. It'll come down short. Ginn wants it. It's going to be Holmes taking it at the 4 between the hash marks. Comes up. Gets up past the 15 to the 17-yard line and stopped right there. Excellent job by the special teams. And especially by Steve Quinn. No relation to Brady, but a guy that unsung group, those unsung heroes, the guys in the kamikaze squad, the special teams.
Yeah, Steve Quinn, the 2004 Catholic League Player of the Year in New Jersey out of Cherry Hill. But good speed coming downfield. Ohio State tried to use a little bit of trickery, faked the reverse. Santonio Holmes kept it and was met.
First down and 10 with the ball at the 18-yard line of the Ohio State Buckeyes. High tandem. Handoff off the right side, and he is met there. That is going to Antonio Pittman. He's a 1,000-yard rusher as well. 1,195 yards on the year. Had a great year. Almost 5.5 yards a carry on the season. And he is Ohio State's answer to Darius Walker.
He is. He added 15 pounds to his frames because he anticipated being the lead back, the lead ball carrier. He's going to have a little more meat on his bones.
Second down after a gain of about a yard and about 9 to go for the first down.
And I can tell you Notre Dame's defense playing with a chip on his shoulder, not getting a lot of respect.
Troy Smith, the junior from Cleveland, out to the near side, fires the pass. It's incomplete. Pass to the near side was intended for Ted Ginn, and what a player he is. 6 foot, 175-pound sophomore to Cleveland, Ohio, and he can do it all and beat you in so many ways. Anytime he touches the football, he is a touchdown threat.
10,500-meter guy, so it's definitely somebody you want to keep in front of you. That time, Ohio State, in the shotgun, they fake the handoff, and they get Troy Smith outside the pocket, but the ball just a little overthrown. Troy Smith is going to be the key. If he's off, it's going to be a long day for Ohio State.
Holmes, their leading receiver, with 48 catches wide to the right. They show slot left. Running back flank to the right of the quarterback. Smith with time, may run. Gets up to the 15, gets to the 20, to the 25. He's at the 30, and he is up out of bounds at about the 34-yard line. And that's what happens if you don't have somebody with an eye on Troy Smith.
And that's how Ohio State has been real good on third down. They convert 48%. You put them in those long third downs, and Troy Smith, with his legs, will run and get you the first down and keeps the drive alive. And the longer they stay on the field, the more damage they can do. That time, he gets 14 yards.
He had 11 rushing touchdowns on the year to lead Ohio State. Slot right, split end left, running back flank to the right of the quarterback. Smith from the shotgun. On the option right side, cuts back and gets up to the 40-yard line, where he'll pick up about 6 yards, and that'll make it second down and 4 to go for a first down. Offensively, Santonio Holmes, Ted Ginn, they're the wideouts. Ryan Hamby will be the tight end. Doug Daddish and Kirk Barton are the tackles. Rob Sims and T.J. Downing are the guards. Nick Mangold is the center. Troy Smith, of course, the quarterback. They use the fullback. It's usually Deontay Johnson, or it could be a fellow by the name of Stan White Jr., who is very familiar to the folks up around the Baltimore area. And, of course, Antonio Pittman is the tailback.
Two guys on that offensive line with Big Ten honors.
Slot right, wide out left. Handoff to the tailback, and Pittman not going anywhere because there's penetration by the linebacker on the play to make the stop. Good job.
You know, and when they line up in the eye, when Ohio State lines up in the eye, they pretty much telegraph run. And the defense for Notre Dame is really staying up close to the line. I think Ohio State probably have to run some play action if they're going to be in the I formation, if they want to have success, you know, with that particular formation and getting Antonio Pittman some yards.
Loss of a couple of yards to make it third down and 5. And here's where Smith is dangerous, because he can beat you with his legs if he doesn't beat you with his arm. 3 wide to the left, 1 out to the right. Short drop, quick throw, far side, catch made. Would it be enough for a first down? All depends on where they spot it. The catch was made. Let's see where they mark it. Santonio Holmes makes the grab, but does he have enough for the first down? And the referee, Steve Shaw, says yes. It is a first down at the Buckeye 44-yard line.
Ambrose Wooden on the coverage. Good coverage. Again, you want to give these receivers cushion. If they can catch it in front of you, that's fine. They convert another first down, that's fine. Eventually, the field will get short on them, and they won't have that space, won't have that cushion anymore.
Double trouble. Holmes and Ginn come out to the near side. You have a flanker to the right, 1 back set. Smith, straight drop, back to the 35, has the time, throwing long, he's got Ginn, all alone, touchdown Ohio State. Ginn ran right by Ambrose Wooden, 56 yards for the score, and it's now 7-6, 82 yards in 7 plays.
Well, Tone, that's either got to be a bust or Ted Ginn is faster than Carl Lewis, and I think it was a bust. Ambrose Wooden was playing inside leverage, and Ginn releases outside of him. I think he expected help in the secondary, didn't get it, and it was an easy pitch and catch for Ohio State.
Now a chance to tie it up. The Buckeyes with Josh Houston for the PAT. Snap, spot, kick. We got a 7-7 ball game here in the Fiesta Bowl. This is Westwood One's exclusive coverage of Notre Dame football. 52 yards by Troy Smith. Right into the hands of Ted Ginn, who looks up into the blue sky here above Sun Devil Stadium and picks it out of the air for the touchdown. Later on, we're going to tell you about the best catch of today's game. The grip of the game brought to you by Channel Lock Pliers. Get a grip. And for Troy Smith, his 15th touchdown pass of the year against only 4 interceptions.
And that one really just too easy. I still think it had to be a bust because Ambrose Wooden was out in coverage. I think he maybe expected safety help. There was no, kinks to the route in terms of stop and go or faking to go inside or outside. It was just a straight, flat run by Ted Ginn, getting behind Ambrose Wooden, and good protection by the offensive line, result a touchdown. But now, a chance for Notre Dame to answer.
Well, you got to say one thing about Ohio State. Good teams answer when you score a touchdown. Good teams come back and put one on the board of their own, and that's exactly what Ohio State did.
Yeah, Ohio State's no slouch now. They've got a good football team. They won't do a lot of things scheme-wise to try and beat you, but they just wear on you, and they've got fabulous athletes, and they remind me a little bit of Michigan in that they just do some basic things very, very well.
So the Buckeyes set to kick off. Josh Houston's kick, as Alan mentioned, he lost his footing. Unfortunately, did not suffer a groin injury because that certainly can happen, and was not able to get the ball downfield. This time it's high, it's deep, and it's not returnable. Forget it. It'll come out to the 20-yard line. And that has been a signature of the Ohio State kicking game. And we have a Buckeye who's shaken up on the play, up around the 25-yard line.
Well, we know it's number 34, but they got 2 guys on their team wearing 34.
Well, it's got to be Ron Hartley. Maurice Wells, of course, is the running back. So we won't try to decide who that is.
Fortunately, they put the names on the back of the jerseys, but...
Can you see who it is? No. Anyway, getting back to Mr. Houston. Mr. Houston is one of the better kickers in the country. It's not the running back, because Maurice Wells is the backup running back. It's Ron Hartley. Ron Hartley is the man who was shaken up on the play.
And he didn't have his back to us, or we would have seen his name on his back of his jersey, but 2 guys wearing 34. You know, Texas used to have 2 guys wearing number 3, 1 return kicks, 1 return punts.
Right. First and 10 Irish at the 20-yard line. Game tied at 7. 10 minutes, 2 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Each team with a possession, each team with a touchdown. 4-3 rush, back to throw. Quinn over the middle. Pass is incomplete. He elected to go for John Carlton as Pisano broke over the middle and was wide open.
Yeah, they loaded up the right side of the field on either side of the hash, and you know, when the ball was thrown, Ohio State did a real good job of reacting to the football. Both guys were open. Pisano looked like he came open a little bit later, but the ball had been thrown, and that's why he looked so open.
Stovall. Samardzija wide to the left. Shelton out to the right. Pisano steps back, starts in motion across the formation. Handoff goes to Walker. Walker to the outside. Walker turns it upfield. Walker down the sideline. Walker stood on his feet and pushed out of bounds in front of the Notre Dame bench up around the 37-yard line. But there's also a penalty marker on the play.
And they may call a hold on number 21, Maurice Stovall, out on the outside. If not, which gives them the first down, but then they just mark off the penalty.
Here's the announcement. This place is so cavernous, it's very difficult sometimes to understand what Steve Shaw is talking about. There's nothing but echo. You may as well be doing your announcements from the shower.
That's where I sound the best when I sing.
So it's going to be second down. Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
Yeah,
wait a minute.
First down.
They got first of all, they got the ball back at the 20-yard line, which was right because the penalty occurred at the 30, but it should be back to first down again, should it not? Now the officials have talked it over.
No, Charlie's going to talk to the official.
10-yard gain and 10-yard penalty. Why isn't it first down? If you got a 10-yard gain, you got a first down, right?
Should be.
Maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, Quinn from the shotgun with time. Fires the short pass. Taken to the 25. Up around the 30, very close to it as Stovall makes the short grab. And there's your guy making a play, a second catch of the game. And he picks up about 9. That's going to leave it at third down, about a yard to go for a first down.
Empty backfield that time. They send everybody else deep, and they drag Maurice Stovall across the middle. Brady Quinn with plenty of time to go through his progression and find Maurice Stovall. Maurice Stovall tried to make a move to get the first down, but good open field tackle on the part of Ohio State, Anthony Schlegel.
Stovall with his 2 catches in this game has now 67. Coming off the right side is Asaph Schwab, and Mr. Schwab, the freshman out of Hartford, Connecticut, bangs away for a first down. All 250 pounds of him. And
what better guy to run the football than somebody who bench presses 450 pounds? Asaph Schwab, I think the future is very bright for him. May even have him lose a little bit of weight to him so he can be a little more fleet.
Well, he's played in every game as fullback and on special teams. He carries for the first down up to around the 31-yard line. First and 10. One back set. Darius Walker. Quick throw, far side. Out to Samardzija. Stiff arms a man. Gets dragged down, and not until he picked up about 6 yards. His second catch of the game. Samardzija with his 73rd reception on the year.
And that's a good matchup over there. Jeff Samardzija against Ashton Yabuti, who's the first-team Big Ten defensive back. Probably one of the better receivers he's faced all year long, and Samardzija up to the challenge with a good run after the catch with a nice stiff arm.
Second down and 5. The ball at the Irish 36-yard line. Wingman on the left side. Handoff goes to Walker. Walker finds a little running room and gets up to about the 40-yard line, maybe a yard short of the first down. It's going to be third down and a yard to go. Samardzija came into this game needing 7 receptions to pass Tom Gatewood and become the single-season leader with 78 receptions. So right now, he's up to 73, so he needs 5 more. And for Walker, 5 carries, a total of 53 yards.
And Walker running the ball effectively gives Notre Dame the best shot at winning this football game. The run is like a knockout punch, and they'll probably get a run on this play.
Samardzija wide right. Stovall flanked to the left. Quarterback sneak by Brady Quinn. Got the first down. And Brady didn't waste any time. Quick count quarterback sneak right behind Santucci, Sullivan, and Stevenson. The 3 S's in the middle of the line.
And good line surge right there by the guard, both guards and the center. An easy first down to get for Notre Dame, and they maintain possession. And, one of the keys, I'm sure, is to try to win the time of possession battle in this game. They are 7-2 this year, Notre Dame is, when they've won the time of possession battle.
First and 10, Irish at the 42. I-10 of Schwab. Walker gets the handoff, finds an opening. Walker gets past the 45 up to about the 47-yard line. In the early going in this first quarter, we still have 6:51 to go and a ton of time to play. But Darius Walker seems to be as sharp as he has ever been this year in finding the hole.
Oh, he's feeling it today, Tone. I mean, when I sit and watch him, he's very precise on his cuts. He's getting the ball upfield as soon as possible, and he's running with authority.
Picked up 5. It'll be second down, about 4.5 to go for a first down. Man in motion coming to the near side. Samardzija. Quinn looking to throw. Throw back incomplete. and he gets knocked down.
And Notre Dame had the screen set up that time, but Anthony Schlegel actually latched on to Darius Walker. It was set up good, and he probably got rid of it. Brady Quinn got rid of it a little bit before he wanted to, because he did take a hit from Dante Whitner.
Well, now it is third down and about 4.5 to go for the first down. The Irish are 3 out of 3, Ohio State 2 out of 2. So both teams are perfect on third down. Samardzija in the slot to the right. Shelton is coming to the game wide to the left. Offset to the left is Darius Walker. Out from under center and shotgun, Brady Quinn. Takes the snap, looks to throw, fires the pass, wide of the mark. Intended for Samardzija, and they didn't look like they were either on the same page.
And he had to put the ball a little outside. Dante Whitner in coverage got a good break on the ball. Samardzija acted as if he thought it was being thrown outside to Stovall, who was out by the sideline. Either way, didn't connect that time.
So now here comes one of the more exciting moments of the game. Santonio Holmes on the far hash mark, and just off the near hash mark is Ted Ginn. The snap, the first punt for the Irish. High spiral, going deep. Holmes says they'll make the fair catch, and does at the 10-yard line. So Notre Dame does not score on its second possession, a 43-yard punt. The score remains tied at 7, and you're listening to exclusive coverage of Notre Dame football on Westwood One. Sylvania's here. The lights are on at Sun Devil Stadium, have been on since the start of the game. Later on, we're going to name the player of the game, brought to you by Sylvania. See the world in a new light. Shadows begin to lengthen over the Sun Devil Stadium field. And now we'll see if the Irish defense is up to stopping Troy Smith and company.
Well, I'll tell you, based on the first series, when the quarterback was under center and they tried to run the football, Notre Dame was much more stout on defense. They are probably a better offense against Notre Dame in the gun, which is what they line up in here.
And that's probably where they'll line up the rest of the ball game. Slot left, wide out right, hand up, nope. Smith keeps it himself, going to run. 10, 15, gets to the 20, 25, and is down there. So you not only have Antonio Pittman in the backfield, but you also have Troy Smith, who just picked up another 15. He had an earlier run of 14 yards. He now has 3 carries for 36.
In this particular play, you get him outside the pocket where he's probably the most effective, and he has the run-pass option. All his people are covered, and so he takes off, and when he takes off, excellent acceleration. But I tell you, don't know if they want to run him too much, because he will take a beating.
Running back flank to his right, he now sends his wide receiver, Anthony Gonzalez, in motion to the far side, rolls to the right, throwback screen, and it's stopped right there at the 20-yard line by Brandon Hoyt. The pass went to Antonio Pittman, and as soon as he caught it, Hoyt was all over him.
Brandon Hoyt ran through 2 offensive linemen to get to that football and timed it up perfectly. I mean, that's an all-American play. He had to run through center Nick Mangold and right guard T.J. Downing. And that's 500 pounds of men. And Brandon Hoyt ran through them, and, he's like a heat-seeking missile when he goes after the football anyway.
4-yard loss. It'll be second down and 14 for the Buckeyes. They're back at their own 21-yard line. They line up I-tandem, split end left, flanker out to the right. Smith with his tight end on the right side. Straight drop back to the 12-yard line. Fires the pass. He's got a man wide open for the first down. Catch made by Ted Ginn. And Ginn makes the grab over the far side, his second, and it's good for a first down.
That's a play they're going to have success with all game long. You've got to give Ted Ginn enough cushion. Ambrose Wooden on the coverage, and it's an impossible pass to stop if the timing is right, because the ball is thrown before the receiver even makes his break.
First and 10 after a pickup of 16. And the Buckeyes have moved the ball from their own 20-yard line up to about the 37.
And one of the things to consider when Troy Smith has all this time is bringing some pressure. But if you bring pressure, you have to get to the quarterback.
Pittman has come out of the backfield to become a receiver. Here is Troy Smith taking the ball and circling around the left side. But before he can get the thing on their way, you had a situation where the official stopped the play.
Dead ball, delay of game, 5-yard penalty, delay first down.
Dead ball, delay of game, penalty against Ohio State. And that doesn't make it any easier.
No, and it's one of those little tricky plays where Ted Ginn is in the backfield. They leave him in the shotgun and send Troy Smith out in motion. But evidently took too much time.
Well, you know, he played quarterback in the Alamo Bowl. It took 7 snaps a couple of years ago when they needed a quarterback, because he did play some quarterback in high school. Very versatile player. Ryan Hamby, the tight end, goes out to the far side. Here's the pitch out to the near side, to the 30, up to about the 35-yard line. And we may have another penalty marker. Antonio Pittman gets the call, but the penalty marker is back at the 31-yard line.
And that's away from the play.
It was right where Ryan Hamby, the 6'5 senior from Cincinnati, had lined up as tight end.
5-yard penalty, remains first down.
5-yard penalty against Ohio State. And the Buckeyes are just going the wrong way. They're making it really tough on themselves.
Those are drive killers, but they always...
But you know, Alan, they have that big play capability.
Yes, they do. Yeah, they do. Anytime you have Ted Ginn and Santonio Holmes on the outside...
And you make one mistake, and Ginn is on the outside right now on the near side.
This is the formation they scored a touchdown out of.
Slot left. Here is Smith looking for Ginn. Smith under pressure. Smith goes down. He fumbled the ball, and the Irish may have it. Notre Dame's ball inside the 15 at the 14-yard line. Ronald Talley with the big play for Notre Dame.
Well, the play just took so long. They're waiting for the receivers to get open downfield, and the pocket just collapses. Corey Mays got in, but Justin Brown actually is the one who caused the fumble.
No, I think Corey Mays ripped it away from him. Corey Mays ripped it away because he kind of shouldered a defender away, and Mays got his left hand in there and ripped the ball out of his grasp.
But a nice short field for Notre Dame.
So Notre Dame has the ball, first down and 10 at the Buckeye 15-yard line. Touchdown imperative here, Alan.
Yes, indeed.
On first down, handoff to Walker. Walker into the secondary, inside the 10, and he slides down to about the 7 or 8 yard line. Nice run by Darius. He picked up a good 7 or 8.
And it's the draw play, but Brady Quinn takes 5 steps back in his pass drop before he hands it off. That's just enough time to make the linebackers take a step the wrong way and allow the offensive lineman to get in place to give Darius Walker a good look at where the hole is. Darius Walker thus far 67 yards on 7 carries.
Second down, a couple of yards to go around the 7-yard line. Man in motion to the near side. Carlson, toss to Walker. Walker at the 10. Walker spins and gets down to maybe where he was before, maybe as far close to the 6-yard line. He did not run with authority on that particular play.
And that's because Ohio State, they were able to show themselves right away. They're running to the wide side of the field. You get good pressure coming inside from A.J. Hawk and from the corner, Ashton Yabuti, who is an excellent corner, excellent against the run, very physical defensive back.
Biggest third down of the game in the early going. We have 2 minutes and 29 seconds left to play in the first quarter. The game is tied at 7. Notre Dame with third down, a little more than a yard to go. Handoff to Walker. Walker, tentative again, and he gets stopped.
That time penetration on the part of Ohio State. Really not able to make that line move. The offensive lineman couldn't make it move, and guys in the backfield, and Darius really no place to go.
Lost a yard on the play.
Yeah.
And Notre Dame is disdaining the field goal. Notre Dame is going for it on fourth down.
Well, gutsy call, and but you're talking about the number 6 scoring team in the country. They can't be scared when it's time for fourth down.
Flanker right, Stovall. You got Samardzija out to the left. Quinn looks to throw. Pump fakes. In pressure. Down he goes. Sacked back at the 15-yard line. And Notre Dame lets a golden opportunity to slide by. And who gets Brady Quinn? His future brother-in-law, A.J. Hawk. The score remains 7-7. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Notre Dame football on Westwood One. Tony Robertson along with Alan Pickett here at Sun Devil Stadium. The Irish let a golden opportunity get away. They had it first down and 10 at the 15-yard line after a fumble recovery. The 15-yard line of Ohio State. And they just could not move the football. For every touchdown scored inside the red zone this afternoon, Milwaukee Electric Tool makes a donation to Habitat for Humanity. Milwaukee Electric Tool. Look for the red zone at your local industrial construction supplier or home improvement retailer.
In that particular play, Notre Dame went with the empty backfield. They sent Darius Walker in motion, which means that if Ohio State brings 6, then the quarterback is responsible for that 6th person. They had a couple of guys come free, and Brady was not able to hit on his initial read, had to double clutch, and by that time it was too late. Ohio State was on him. It was an opportunity that you let get away, but not disappointed, Tone. I like the aggressiveness, but you still got to get results.
Well, you can't get to the Ohio State 15-yard line, first down and 10, and not put the ball in the end zone. Out to the right side, Santonio Holmes. Out to the left, you have Ginn. Tight end Hamby goes to the right side. They close ranks a little bit. Hand it off to Pittman into the secondary, and Pittman gets hit, but not until he gets up to the 20-yard line and is knocked down at about the 21. On the play, you have Zbikowski for Notre Dame, but Pittman picks up a good 6 or 7 yards on the play. That'll make it second down and a little more than 2.5 to go for a first down.
Good movement on the line that time. Rob Sims, the left guard, first team All Big Ten, and Doug Dadish able to collapse the line down and give his running back a lane.
Ginn wide to the right, and Gonzalez in the slot. Handoff goes to Pittman. Pittman trying to spin around, and he gets leveled at about the 25-yard line, but he got the first down for the Buckeyes of Ohio State. That'll make it second down, make it first down and 10 at about, wait a minute, got a penalty marker? And the conference as well.
We have the conference.
Ohio State, in their last possession, beset by a number of penalties. They have yet to punt the ball. Seems like a long first quarter, 46 seconds left, each team scoring on its first possession. Game tied at 7, and here's the announcement by Steve Shaw.
The result of the play was a first down for Ohio State. After the play, dead ball, personal foul, number 77 on the offense. The penalty will be half the distance to the goal and result in first and 10.
That's Rob Sims, the 6'4", 310-pound senior from Macedonia, Ohio. He's the offensive left guard. Commits the personal foul.
An interesting story there. He played 3 years at tackle, and this is his first time playing guard. And he ends up becoming a first-team Big Ten member. But this time, that penalty, costly, actually pushed Cheney and Dukwe.
Victor Abiamiri, Trevor Laws, Derek Landry, Ronald Talley, the 4 down linemen, Brandon Hoyt, Corey Mays, Maurice Crum Jr., linebackers, Ambrose Wooden, Mike Richardson, the corners, Tom Zbikowski, and Ndukwe are the safeties. First down and 10. Handoff goes up the middle, and not much there as the ball carrier winds up back at about the 9-yard line, but he'll get his forward progress, which is up somewhere around the 12 or 13.
Well, it's the same play they ran the first play of the series, a draw play. They've got, like a trips formation on one side, and they run to the opposite side. But that time, Notre Dame, a better job of seeing the play and collapsing on the hole.
After a wild start, things have kind of settled down here at the Fiesta Bowl. End of the first quarter with a score tied at 7. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Notre Dame football on Westwood One. Westwood One acknowledges the University of Notre Dame Athletic Department and its team of Notre Dame sponsors, Adidas, Chase, Coca-Cola, Sirius Satellite Radio, Comcast, McDonald's, Gatorade, and XEROX. First quarter stats. Notre Dame 6 first downs. Ohio State's got 5. Irish is 63 yards on the ground, 43 through the air, 110. Ohio State 43 rushing, 74 passing, 108. So dead even ball game. 4 out of 8 for Brady Quinn, 4 out of 5 for Troy Smith. No interceptions. Ohio State loses the ball once on the fumble, only turnover. Notre Dame 1 penalty for 10. Ohio State 3 for 22. Irish with 20 offensive plays, 14 for the Buckeyes.
Well, I think the thing that's impressive there is the yards rushing by Notre Dame, which is 63. Ohio State averages giving up 74 yards a game. So at 63 or 67, whichever one it was, in the first quarter, good sign for Notre Dame, because where the running is really going to be important is in the second half, and especially the fourth quarter when you give those offensive linemen a chance to really wear down the defensive line. So all things looking good for Notre Dame.
But in that last series of plays, Allen, the Buckeyes, when they had to have it defensively against the run, they were right there to put the stop on Darius Walker.
They rose up, no doubt about it. They rose up. As a player, what you got to do is you got to flush that from your memory and just continue to play, because you know that it happened early in the game. And as this offense thinks, they don't think they can be stopped, Tone. So they're going to come right back at you firing.
Pittman becomes a wide receiver, and so does Ginn. 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 out to the left. You got a wingman on the right side. You have the quarterback in the shotgun formation. Short drop, quick throw on the slant, wide of the mark. Try to hit Santonio Holmes on a slant coming across from the left side. Troy Smith is the 6th-ranked passer as far as efficiency is concerned. He's 29th in the country in total offense, averaging 249 yards a game and 25 touchdowns on the season. He is 12-2 as a starter, and entered the season primarily as a runner, but has turned out to be a very good passer as well.
He gives him a better chance at winning over Justin Swift.
3 wides to the left, 1 out to the right. Back to throw. Smith at the 7. Has the time. Starts rolling out to the right. The Irish chase him. The pass upfield caught at about the 32-yard line. And it'll be a first down as Ginn makes the grab and Zibikowski makes the tackle. And that's Ginn's 3rd catch of the game and number 46 on the year.
Well, good job by Troy Smith buying himself time. He has that clock ticking in his head, knowing that the pressure's going to come any minute. So he scrambles out to the right, and he finds Ted Ginn, who, if you keep him out there too long, nobody's going to be able to cover him.
1st and 10 after an 18-yard pickup, and the Buckeyes are moving the football at the top of the second quarter. This drive began at the Buckeye 14-yard line, late stages of the first period. Here's the flip. Ginn coming out to the left side, looking for a block. He gets it. Ginn to the 40, 45. He's going to go all the way. He's down to the 30, down to the 20. Touchback. He's at the 15. He's at the 10. Touchback 5. Touchdown, Ohio State. Teddy Ginn with a darting zigzag run for a 68-yard touchdown.
Tone, I tell you, the excellent running by Ted Ginn, but good blocking on the part of Ohio State. Notre Dame had a couple guys in position, but Ohio State got all their linemen out front, and they got folks down the field. Notre Dame still was chasing them, almost had them at the 5, but good nifty running by Ted Ginn to complete that play.
And so the Buckeyes take the lead for the first time. They're out in front by a score of 13-7. The snap, the spot, the kick, it's up 14-7, an 86-yard drive in just 4 plays, and Ohio State is in front. This is Westwood One's exclusive coverage of Notre Dame football. The Fiesta Bowl, that is Ohio State 14, Notre Dame 7, 14-16 showing on the clock. In the second quarter, as we check the college football scoreboard, brought to you by Sylvania. See the world in a new light. Upset today, number 21 Wisconsin, 24. Number 7 Auburn, 10 in the Capital One Bowl. Meanwhile, Virginia Tech outscores Louisville 35-24. Iowa makes a try but cannot catch Florida 31-24. The Gators win there. And Alabama does a pretty good job of stopping a really high-powered Texas Tech offense 13-10 the final. That game played in the Cotton Bowl. One game left to be played after this one. Today, anyway, West Virginia and Georgia. That's in the Sugar Bowl. And, of course, you have the big one a couple of days from now, Texas and Southern California. And, Alan, the Irish now have their work cut out for them because the game you don't want to play against Ohio State is catch-up.
But if I'm going to take a team that has to catch up, the team I want is Notre Dame, a team that's not afraid to score the ball, a team that is the fourth best passing team in the country. Yes, they do have a formidable opponent in Ohio State, but in these situations, what you do is you just return to what made you successful on your initial scoring drive, and that's spreading out the football field and getting the ball to Samardzija and Stovall, and then countering with some running from Darius Walker. And one person's name we haven't heard who can make a big impact today is Anthony Fasano. He creates some matchup problems in the secondary for Ohio State, and so you've got some good weapons. You don't have to get it all right away. You can methodically take them down.
Houston with a run-up and the kick, and forget about returning this one. This one went into another state somewhere. The ball will come out to the 20-yard line, and that's about as well as you can do against the toe of Mr. Houston, because he is just outstanding.
He's such a weapon, Tone, just to be able to know that you've got a kicker that can boom it out of the end zone.
Set a school record with, coming into this game, 49 touchback on 70 kickoffs. And he's 2 out of 3 in this game. On first down, Quinn looks, fired the pass. Samardzija open, dropped the ball. Samardzija dropping the ball at the 30-yard line. And Jeff has had quite a few of those the last 3 games.
Well, it's one of those you got to catch before you run, but the play was good. Play action that time.
He was wide open on the near sideline in front of the Ohio State bench.
Now, the sun is coming that way. I don't want to blame it on the sun, but that is in the direction where the sun is coming from. It may or may not have had an effect.
Slot to the left. Fasano, the tight end, on the right side. Quinn from under center. Under pressure. Gets away, but can't get away. Ducked under the tackle, but lost his footing at about the 16-yard line. And the second sack for the Buckeyes today.
Yeah, and this is a team that came in here with 39 sacks. They're a team that can just flat get after you. And
but conversely, Notre Dame allowed only 16 on the year.
Right. I mean, they do a good job of blocking for Brady Quinn, giving him time. Brady Quinn also usually with good decisions with the football. That time, though, outstanding coverage by Ohio State.
Stovall to the near side. Samardzija and Shelton out to the right. Quinn drops back to throw. Over the middle. Pass caught at the 20-yard line. Samardzija up around the 25. Way short of the first down by a good 5 yards.
Well, that's the play that they ran against Tennessee.
Right.
And went for 70. But this time, Ohio State a good job of just keeping everything in front of them and then reacting to the football once the receiver catches it.
And once again, the Ohio State defense is starting to put the squeeze on that high-powered Notre Dame offense, and Fitzpatrick is going to be back to punt once more. Notre Dame was 3 for 3 the last 3 opportunities on third down. They go 0 for 3. Nice punt by Fitzpatrick. Fair catch signaled for and made by Ginn back at about the 28-yard line. The score remains 14-7 after 46-yard punt, no return. Ohio State is out in front. They've got the football. This is Westwood One's exclusive coverage of Notre Dame football.
One of the sponsors of Notre Dame football broadcast is the Hartford, and I also do some work for the Hartford. They have this program called the Playbook for Life, where I, as the captain of Team Hartford, go around to different colleges and talk about the importance of financial planning. You know, these student athletes get a book at the beginning of the semester to learn about school. When they come to the playing field, they've got a playbook. Why shouldn't they have a playbook for their financial matters? Hartford solves that problem by giving out a free Playbook for Life which talks about all the financial aspects when it comes to financial planning. You know, what credit card should I choose? I need to make a budget. When I go out and look for a job, I should look at the entire compensation package. As a member of Team Hartford, we've visited about 7 campuses. We're going to do some more here in 2006, and it's just a wonderful program to help these students have a solid financial foundation.
Buckeyes with the ball and the lead, 14-7. Ohio State at its own 29-yard line, first down and 10. Smith from the shotgun. Hand off to Pittman. Pittman comes off the right side and doesn't go very far, a yard upfield to the 30-yard line, and he gets smothered there by Brandon Hoyt and company.
One of the things that the defensive line for Notre Dame is doing is they get on the shoulder of the offensive line, and it creates a tough angle for that offensive line of Ohio State to block, and it holds up the offensive line, allowing the linebackers to make a free run to the running back, thus reducing the number of yards Antonio Pittman can get.
Brian Bidach, 294-pound senior out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, in on the front four for Notre Dame at defensive left tackle. Actually, he's right on the head of the center. Now he moves to the left. Again, slot to the left. Here is Smith with time. Pass batted in the air and all the way back to the 14-yard line. Ronald Talley. And now what do we have here? Penalty marker thrown down at the 23-yard line. Officials conversing. It's second down and 9 at the 30.
And while they're conversing, Ronald Talley really has stepped up to the plate, took the place of Chris Fromm, who got injured early in the year, and really an unknown commodity, but stepped up and played well.
Here's the announcement.
After the play, personal foul, number 40 on the defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, let's talk about uncharacteristic. That's against Maurice Fromm Jr. I don't know what that was all about, because a moment ago, the play before that, he was out of the ball game. He'd been replaced by another defensive back.
I believe he got a nice little hit in on Doug Dadish, who's the left tackle. And it was just a push, but it's after the play, and the referees or the officials trying to take control of the football game.
And that brings the ball all the way up to the 45-yard line. And if you're playing Ohio State, you can't give the Buckeyes any yards that they haven't earned. Now the Buckeyes call a timeout. So Ohio State calls for a timeout with 11:45 showing on the clock and leading by a score of 14-7 and having the first down at their own 45. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Notre Dame football on Westwood One. Tony Robertson along with Alan Pickett here at the Fiesta Bowl, number 35 in the series, in a game that has been characterized by big plays, mostly by Ohio State. Smith again for 56 yards and a touchdown, and then Ginn on a 68-yard run on a reverse. And then Walker, of course, opened the scoring for Notre Dame on the Irish first drive. They went 72 yards. Walker going in from 20 yards out. Longest touchdown run of his career. But since that time, Ohio State's defense, one of the best in the country, has really put the squeeze on Notre Dame. Roy Hall in the game goes wide to the left in the slot. Ginn is outside.
Notre Dame in their nickel package.
Double slot for Ohio State. Handoff goes to Pittman. Pittman off the right side to the 50. Goes to the outside and gets tripped up. Leo Farine was there, and in hot pursuit for Notre Dame, we had Chinadu Ndukwe.
Antonio Pittman able to break contain, but in doing it had to belly around, and then that's when the pressure from Notre Dame was able to come get him, and in bellying around lost his balance just a little bit.
So that'll be a gain of 6. It'll be second down and 4 for the Buckeyes. They're a yard in Notre Dame territory at the Irish 49-yard line. Ever since that opening series, this has been pretty much Ohio State's football game, and they're out in front by 7. Here's the ball going to Smith, and Smith down to the 45-yard line as he comes off the right side. Maybe just a half yard or so short of the first down. Depends upon where they mark it.
And that time they set Ginn in the backfield over the tackle. When Troy Smith gets the ball, he runs his option with Ginn as his pitch man.
So Ginn comes off the playing field, and that has to be a sigh of relief for any defender. Ohio State 3 for 3 on third down. Third down in the yard to go at the Irish 45-yard line. Handoff Pittman, and Pittman sneaks through. He's got the first down. He shoved back, but he managed to break the plane at the 45-yard line, got it down to the 44, and it'll be a first down for Ohio State at the Notre Dame 44-yard line.
A good, strong running by Pittman. Actually met in the backfield, but kept his shoulders low and his legs moving. Notre Dame with a good job pushing him back, but a little too late. Already got the first down.
First down and 10, Buckeyes. Out in front by a score of 14-7.
And this is typical Ohio State. They just wear you down. They don't do anything spectacular, just do a lot of things very well.
Quinn back in, goes wide to the left. Gonzalez in the slot on the left side. Santonio Holmes wide to the right. Pittman now moves to the left of the quarterback, Smith. Look, fire to the far side, pass is caught. Grab is made by Ginn. Ginn out there on the far side and finally shoved out of bounds by Ambrose Wooden. And a penalty marker on the play. And who's that going to be again?
They're going to call that against Tom Zibikowski because he got a little shove just as he stepped out of bounds. It's sort of a ticky-tack little penalty, but you can't touch them once they get out of bounds.
Well, the Irish are losing their composure slightly. 17-yard pickup, and if they tack another 15 on here, it becomes a 32-yard play. Ginn now with 4 catches, 107 yards.
That's a pretty good day on Mr. Ginn's part.
And that's the guy you really had to concern yourself with in this game.
Yeah, his best this year.
Both dead ball fouls, personal foul, number 9 on the defense, number 50 on the offense. Penalties will all set. It'll be first and 10.
Caught a break there. Notre Dame did. But a lot of stuff happening after the whistle's been blown today.
Ginn's high so far has been 9 catches against Michigan this year.
And 138
yards against Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's almost got that in the first half.
Yep.
Holmes out to the left. Got a slot to the right. Ginn flank to the right of the quarterback. Back to throw. Smith looking, has the time, fires the pass, caught, made at the 15, and down to the 10, inside the 10, first down and goal to go. Santonio Holmes, and right now, Mr. Smith is picking the Irish defense apart.
He's getting good time, but he's buying himself time by moving around in the pocket. And his receivers, you have to give them so much cushion. But I think down in this area, they're in the red zone now. The field gets a little bit shorter. Don't have the luxury of having that much room. And I think the Notre Dame defense at this point has to think field goal. It's a win if they get a field goal out of this.
12 yards on the play. His knee must have touched the ground somewhere around the 15 because that's where they spotted the ball on the far hash mark. Smith takes a direct snap, goes off to the right, pitches the ball out there. Loose ball picked up. Irish recover inside the 10 at about the 9-yard line. And boy, that one is going to come up big for Ohio State.
Ambrose Wooden on the recovery, but that's the 7th red zone turnover this year by Notre Dame, and that's just a defense that never gives up. Option play and probably an ill-advised pitch. Ginn wasn't ready for it, but Notre Dame a good job of staying alert and getting on the football.
Our score remains 14-7, and the Irish have just dodged the bullet. They trail here. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Notre Dame football on Westwood One. Tony Roberts along with Alan Pickett here at the Fiesta Bowl in Tempe, Arizona. 8:56 left to play in the first half. Notre Dame has just recovered a fumble on an errant pitch by Troy Smith. They have the ball at their own 9-yard line. They dodged the bullet there as the Buckeyes were going in for another score. And now the Irish are 91 yards away from a touchdown. That may be as far from here to Jupiter unless they get their offense on track, which has been stymied by a very stout defense of the Ohio State Buckeyes. Quinn's going to have to hurry. Turns around, ran the wrong way, and boy, that was talk about confusion. Brady Quinn made a change. John Carlson maybe didn't hear what the change was. Then Quinn had to redirect him, and then all of a sudden Quinn took the snap, went in one direction, and Darius Walker wasn't there to take the handoff.
Well, sometimes you just got to go with the play that's called. A lot of times you can outthink yourself out there, and Notre Dame a little bit out of sync, and lucky that the ball wasn't turned over in that situation.
I think you got to say a lot out of sync. Split end left flanker out to the right. Handoff to Walker, penalty marker on the play. Walker into the secondary, gets up to about the 15-yard line. A good run by Darius Walker. He'll pick up a good 7 yards, but question is, will it hold up?
3 flags on that play.
3 more, we'd have 6 flags, wouldn't we?
And they made a legal motion against the Irish, so they continue to go back.
Boy, and you don't want to punt from this end, because you're putting Ohio State in great field position right around the 50-yard line if they don't return the punt.
2 players moving before the snap, and they never got set. At half the distance to the goal, repeat second down.
It's amazing how all the preparation you put in that worked so well during the course of the week, and you really feel good about yourself coming into the ball game, all of a sudden seems to unravel.
Well, that's game speed, and what you do in that situation is you just relax and work your way back to getting good timing. This is a good screen down right here, actually.
Second down and long, 15, with the ball back at the 4. Quick throw, slant, Stovall's got it. And he fights his way past the 15, all the way up to about the 18, almost gets the first down. And that's the 3rd catch of the game for Maurice Stovall, one of your players to watch.
Yeah, that time being covered by Malcolm Jenkins. He's not the typical starter Tyler Everett is, but Stovall has the advantage there also. Brings up a nice 3rd and 1.
Stovall goes to the sideline. The fullback comes in, Asaph Schwab, the 250-pounder from Hartford, Connecticut. And the Irish show power formation, double tight end, I-tandem, flanker out to the right. Handoff goes to Schwab off the right side. He's got the first down. All he had to do was get up to, from the 18.5 up to the 20-yard line, and he picks up the first down.
A little bit of dancing in the backfield, unsure of where he wanted to go. Had good line movement, but then once he lowers those shoulders, he's got both arms around the football, and if he goes forward with all that power he has, no one's going to deny him.
Well, right now, Notre Dame has its first down of the second quarter. Their 7th of the game. Slot to the left with Samardzija and Stovall. Fasano starts out to the right. Sets himself as tight end on the right side. Shelton now starts in motion from flanker right. Play action fake. Long pass down the near side. Intended for Stovall. Dives and he can't make the grab. Down at the 30-yard line. And it seemed like Stovall racing down the left sideline hesitated just slightly as he looked back to see if Quinn had thrown the ball, and then tried to get it back in gear again, and that may have cost him that step he needed to make the catch.
Right, and that time Brady Quinn, what a strong arm, was able to, under a little bit of duress, put that ball out there perfectly. So far, Brady Quinn 6 out of 12 for 70 yards.
Second down and 10, Notre Dame at their own 20-yard line. Slot right, slot to the left. Shotgun. Quinn back to throw. They come with a blitz. Throws up the middle to Stovall. Makes the grab. And Stovall is collared at about the 44-yard line. They'll mark it at the 43.
Good play call because they put Darius Walker out wide. That puts the linebacker on Stovall. He's going to win that race, and he gets in the seam between the linebackers and the defensive backs and is able to get a good gain out of it.
Malcolm Jenkins, the freshman from Piscataway, New Jersey. 24 yards on the play. Finally made the stop at the Irish 43-yard line. Grimes goes wide to the right.
Got Chase Anastasio out there.
We got 3 wide receivers to the right and 2 out to the left. Empty backfield. Short drop. Quick throw. Slant. Incomplete. Penalty marker. It'll be on Jenkins. He collared Matt Shelton and spun him around.
And Malcolm Jenkins seems to be the guy that Notre Dame has figured out is the weak link, and that's what.
Number 2 on the defense. Penalty will be enforced at the spot of the foul. Automatic 1st and 10.
So the Irish get a first down at their own 49-yard line.
He seems to be the one that they've chosen to exploit. So number 2, tie your shoes up tighter.
Well, Tyler Everett's in there. But right now, the right corner happens to be Malcolm Jenkins.
Yeah, well, they've got their nickel package in.
Right. Slot right, wingman on the left side. Johnny Carlson. Walker back in at tailback. Here's a toss to Walker. Walker comes off the left side, and I guess they tried to get some kind of misdirection on that, Allen, because everybody started moving to the right, and Walker came off the left side and got to the 50-yard line, picked up a yard in the play.
Well, I mean, good time. That Malcolm Jenkins forcing on the football from his corner position really is the one that shut that play down. They had the rest of the pursuit coming from the inside, but Malcolm Jenkins really forced the issue that time.
Jenkins comes out, and returning to the right corner defensively is Tyler Everett. Fasano still hasn't caught a pass. Now we got a timeout call by Notre Dame. So the Irish called their first timeout. Each team has called one timeout here.
Well, it seems like Notre Dame has gotten a little more in sync. It just methodically running plays that get some good yards. They got a little scared with the penalties, but they found a little spot they could exploit, and that is in the person of Malcolm Jenkins. Stovall can't cover him, and then they got a nice little mismatch on formation where they had an empty backfield, but they ended up with a linebacker on Stovall, and they got good yards on that.
Well, Notre Dame's pass offense has been a little spotty ever since the first series. Now, maybe they'll start getting back in sync again. You ready for some history? This is number 35 in this series. You know why we have a Fiesta Bowl? Because a long time ago, a guy by the name of Frank Cush was the coach at Arizona State.
Know him.
And his teams kept going 10-1, 11-0, 10-1. But Arizona State and Arizona were members of the WAC. And nobody ever gave the WAC any kind of props. The WAC was a pass-happy league, okay? Yeah. They couldn't play with the big guys. So Frank Cush said, look, they're not going to invite us to a game. We're going to have our own bowl game. And he started the Fiesta Bowl. First three teams to play in the Fiesta Bowl are all Arizona State. They beat Florida State 45-38 in 71. They beat Missouri 49-35 in 72. Then they beat Pittsburgh 28-7 in 1973. Also had a quarterback by the name of Danny White, who played for the Dallas Cowboys.
I'll give you a little more history. I was actually in 1983 a Fiesta Bowl All-American. They would bring different players out here from different teams. I was out here with Steve Young. I was out here with Steve Young from BYU, Ricky Hundley from Arizona, Kenny Jackson from Penn State. Also had Akeem Olajuwon out here from Houston and Patrick Ewing from Georgetown. And I was a member of the Fiesta Bowl American team where they brought us out, played a little golf over at Orange Street Country Club, treated us to a nice chicken dinner, and have that distinction of being a Fiesta Bowl All-American.
Well, I met Frank last night at the media function, and he looks like he can still coach. And he was tough, Allen.
Yeah.
Oh.
He'd yell at you.
Yes, sir. Quinn back to throw. Shakes a tackler. Gets to the 50, and that's as far as he goes. Schlegel, the middle linebacker, Anthony Schlegel makes the stop on the play. No gain, and now it becomes 3rd down and 9. Well, and again, the Irish offense begins to sputter.
Yeah, good pressure that time. Darius Walker with a good pickup, but pocket starting to collapse on Brady, and so wisely he tucks it and he gets out and tries to get as many as he can.
Notre Dame 4 out of 7 on 3rd down, trading by a score of 14-7. Just under 5 minutes in the second quarter. Back split for the first time. Samardzija wide to the right. Quinn to throw, fires the pass. Samardzija too low, incomplete. So now it becomes 4th down and 9.
And if he had caught it, would have been short of the sticks also. I think it may have been they saw the blitz look and ran the blitz-adjusted route, but the linebacker on the outside, James Laurinaitis, who looked like he was going to come off the corner, just stayed right there in his zone, which meant it wasn't a blitz. Brady had a little more time, and the ball fell short.
3rd punt of the game for DJ Fitzpatrick. 43 and 46 on the first 2. Gets this one off. Sends it up down to the near side. Santonio Holmes singing for a catch. The Irish going to try to keep it in the playing field, and they do. It is down at the 2-yard line. Down a 48-yard punt, down at the 2-yard line, and it was down out there by J.J. Jansen.
And Chinny and Duque was able to bat it back into play.
They'll mark it at the 2. No review called so far.
And
from upstairs.
Yeah, you can hear the fans thinking that it may have been questionable after seeing it on the
And this is where you want the turnover, Alan.
This is a spot if you can pin them back.
First down and 10, Buckeyes. One back set, quarterback sneak. Maybe a yard, maybe 2. Quick count by Troy Smith, who takes the snap from his center, Nick Mangold, the senior out of Centerville, Ohio.
And get enough of a surge.
Got a yard, second down and 9.
A little bit of breathing room. The clock now becomes a little bit of a factor. 4 minutes and 17 seconds. You want to try and get a stop here so that you can get the ball and have a chance to score, because starting the second half, Ohio State
gets the ball,
opens with the football.
Holmes goes to the far side. Again, the double tight end. Hand off to Pittman. Pittman trying to break through, gets past the 5 up to the 6. Zibikowski helping on the tackle. The guy that made it was Derek Landry, the senior out of Concord, California. And so now we go to third down and still long, about 6 or 7 to go for the first down.
And this is the area where Troy Smith really takes it upon himself to get the third down on his own. Ohio State brings in some additional receivers, so they intend to throw it, but I think the person you got to be wary of is Troy Smith trying to run for this thing.
The guy I'd be wary of is wide to the left out there, Ted Ginn, who just came into the ball game. Smith looking, but before he can cock his arm, he had stepped into the end zone. Officials stopped the play. Smith is just one of 2 Ohio State players who accumulate more than 300 yards total offense in 3 or more games. Joe Germain, remember him?
Oh, yeah.
He had 5. He's the leader all time. He's the other one.
And Troy Smith has another year.
Please keep the lower camera off the field of play. The play was stopped. The camera was on the field. We'll replay third down.
Aha.
Now, who's paying attention to the cameras?
Somebody is.
Oh, well, Notre Dame with its nickel package in, which means you have Maurice Crum and Brandon Hoyt, the 2 fleetest of the linebackers, and Leo Ferrin is the additional defensive back.
Holmes near side, Ginn and Gonzalez out to the far side. Smith to the end zone. Under pressure, may have to run it. Gets to the 10, gets to the 15, is hit from behind and dragged down, but he's got the first down at the 15-yard line. They have really not done a yeoman job of containing the quarterback, Troy Smith.
Well, that is the X factor. That's the one thing you really can't account for, especially when you've got San Antonio Holmes and Ted Ginn running around in the backfield. That has to be the first priority. If you come up too soon or anticipate to run too soon, they'll just drop it over the top.
43 yards and 8 carries for Troy Smith. Gives him some breathing room up at the 15-yard line. 3 wide to the right, 1 out to the left. Play action fake, going down the middle, long, got San Antonio Holmes. He's got it at the 40, the 30, the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Buckham. Yards as the Buckeyes go 98 yards in 4 plays, and they've exposed the Notre Dame defense.
And I think what they did, they had the play action at a time where you thought Ohio State might be, comfortable with their lead at 14 points, and they send San Antonio Holmes. He gets behind Chinny and Duque in a wonderful pass deep to San Antonio Holmes, and once he caught it, you're not going to catch it.
Big play offense. 2:21 showing on the clock, and the Buckeyes are out in front by a score of 20-7.
They did get a penalty at the end of the play. Tom Zibikowski came and tackled San Antonio Holmes, but San Antonio was celebrating before he got to the end zone. So don't know which way that flag will go.
Number 7 on the offense. That penalty will be enforced on the ensuing kickoff.
All right, that means that Notre Dame gets a return because he won't be able to kick it out of the end zone on that penalty.
Don't put it beyond him. Got a great leg. Houston for the PAT. Snap, spot, kick up. It's good. And now the Buckeyes are out in front by a score of 21-7. 2:21 left to go in the first half. And you're listening to exclusive coverage of Notre Dame football on Westwood One. Kick coming down is going to be returnable at about the 13, the 15 to the 20. It's Horde, and Horde is stopped at about the 25 or 26-yard line. DJ Horde getting an opportunity to run one back.
As a freshman, and looked like a freshman right there, ran into the back of his blocker. You got to sprint up to the line, but you got to be under control so that you can make a move, because it's like going 60 miles an hour through a toll booth. Now, plenty of time on the clock for Notre Dame, 2 minutes, 14 seconds. I believe they have 2 timeouts, so they can run their 2-minute offense and try to answer.
They've got to find an offense to run with now, Alan.
Well, you may hear Anthony Fasano's name.
I hope so. He hasn't caught anything so far. Blitz block. They came with a corner blitz. They did, as Deontay Whitner, the strong safety, blitzed from the left side, and as Brady Quinn cocked his arm, that ball never got to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and that's okay, because it stops the clock. You don't get any yards out of it, but it stops the clock. And the thing you want to have is possession of the football and the clock stops so that you can go out and execute your offense.
Kind of wondering how frustrating this must be for Charlie Weiss.
Well, he's been in this position before, so it's just a matter of finding the right mix.
Quinn takes the snap, back to throw, sets up, fires over the middle. Pass is incomplete.
You know, and that
instead of a Darius Walker.
Yeah, actually, it was supposed to go to Jeff Samardzija, but
right.
Darius got in that lane, and it was thrown too hard for Darius. But if the ball's in the air, he's going to grab it.
So now becomes 3rd down and 10, with 2:05 showing on the clock. And right now, Notre Dame is 4 of 8 on 3rd down. Ohio State a perfect 5 for 5.
Yeah, and you don't want to get this ball back to Ohio State.
Again, the blitz on. Quinn rolls out to the right. Throws on the run. The pass is incomplete. Almost intercepted.
Well, you know, that thing was in the hands of Matt Shelton, and he just dropped it. He was a yard beyond the sticks. Brady Quinn bought himself time, got outside the pocket, and in the hands of Matt Shelton, he's just got to make that catch.
Right now, Brady Quinn and Charlie Weiss are in a little bit of an animated conversation. 4th Notre Dame punt. The Buckeyes have yet to punt in the first half. The snap and the punt. Nice one. Ginn underneath it. Takes it at the 26. Starts to the left. Cuts to the right. Goes back up the middle. Spins around and then gets hammered at about the 32. A 48-yard punt with a 6-yard return, but the Buckeyes have the ball in good field position at their own 32-yard line.
He would have had 8 yards, but he decided to spin around and go backwards, trying to improvise. But Notre Dame, everybody staying in their lanes and making sure that they smother Ted Ginn so he can't go anywhere. But here it's this dangerous part of the game right here, because a minute and 47 seconds remain on the clock, and just the big play capability of Ohio State is what put them in the lead at 21-7.
1st and 10 at the 32. Smith from the shotgun. Has the time, fired the pass, got his man. Good for the first down. Ginn out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. And Notre Dame has no answer for Ted Ginn at the moment.
Not on that play. If they're gonna run the 12-yard out, they're gonna give him the 12-yard out. You got to give him that cushion. Now, maybe the corner Ambrose Wooden can get a better jump on the ball, but if it's timed up perfectly, it's a route that can't be defended.
Prior to that play, 339 yards offense for Ohio State. 3 plays. 56 touchdown to Ginn, 68-yard run by Ginn for a touchdown, 85-yard TD pass to Holmes, 209 of those yards on 3 big plays. Quick throw, far side, catch made. One tackler eluded, and then the other one finally makes the stop as
Marcel
Frost, who did not play the last time we saw the Buckeyes, comes in. And Marcel, a junior out of South Euclid, Ohio, with his 7th catch of the year, picks up 7 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 3.
Big body. They haven't had to use him, but at 6'5", 255 pounds, a sophomore, bright future for Marcel Frost.
We're down to 1 minute and 5 seconds as Smith is about to take the snap. Looks to the right, throws the slant, caught by Santonio Holmes. He was covered by a wooden, but made the catch anyway. And now you have a Notre Dame player shaken up.
That's Maurice
Crum at the 37-yard line of Notre Dame. And Ohio State on the move toward another score.
Maurice Crum was in on the collision, probably took the brunt of the collision and is down. Maurice Crum is going to be the senior member of the linebacker
corps, right,
next year. And I tell you, very impressed with Maurice Crum. And he can handle it. One of the things that, when I read his bio, that interested me was the fact that he was a captain of his football team in high school as a junior. Now, being elected captain is not just about athletic ability. It's about leadership, which means that I think he can handle it on this level, too.
Well, Crum up on his feet. Smith, meanwhile, is having one of Brady Quinn's better days. 11 out of 14, 237 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
That's a good day right there. That is, Troy Smith is going to be the key all game long. If he was off, it's going to be a long day for Ohio State, but he's on, and this Ohio State offense looks like a machine.
Well, he's a much better quarterback than we saw mid-season when he played up in Minneapolis against the Golden Gophers of Minnesota.
And he has progressed every game. Had a big game against Michigan. It was really the key in that particular game also.
Ginn 5 catches, 120 yards. Holmes 4 for 113. 3 wide to the left, 2 out to the right, so it's 5 out. Smith taking it from the shotgun. The pass is incomplete, but I believe there's a penalty marker. Notre Dame is going to be called for encroachment. Derek Landry got into the neutral zone before the ball was snapped.
And tried to come backwards and get set, but Ohio State alertly snaps the ball. Usually, they let that thing go.
Dead ball, offside in the middle of the defensive line. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Well, to be a fly on the locker room wall of Notre Dame at halftime.
Well, they will go in and they'll make their adjustments. They've been in this position before. Against Michigan State, they were down by 3 scores. And
this is at Michigan State.
Well, it's still a member of the Big Ten.
This is Ohio State.
Still a Big Ten. Notre Dame
is winning record against
the Big Ten.
This is Ohio State. Pump fake, up the middle, 30 down to the 25, and finally dragged down from behind at about the 22-yard line. Smith hauled down by Derek Landry from behind, but not until he gets the first down and picks up more yards.
And put themselves in position to get another score. So I say you don't want Ohio State getting this football back.
You talked about Smith. He rallied Ohio State from 21-12 down in the fourth quarter against Michigan. Engineered scoring drives of 67 and 88 yards in the final 8 minutes. 7 of 8 passing on that game-winning drive. The guy can do it all.
Yeah.
And he's going to make Ohio State a contender for the Big Ten title again next year.
Yeah, and he's really developing as a quarterback. He's got a good throwing motion. His feet are what scares you the most, but you can't deny the fact that he's a very accurate passer. At least today, 11 or 14. That's pretty good stuff right there.
Well, the Irish look like they've lost some of the zest that they had after they went right downfield and cut through Ohio State's defense like a hot knife through butter on the first possession. Walker scoring from 20 yards out. Since that time, it's been all Buckeyes. Smith to Ginn for 56 and a score. Ginn going 68 yards on a flanker reverse for a score. And then Smith to Holmes 85 yards for a touchdown.
And you want to try and do your best to keep them out of the end zone with 33 seconds left.
And had not Ohio State fumbled at the Notre Dame 9-yard line, this might even be worse. 3 wide to the left, 2 out to the right. Notre Dame coming with a corner blitz. They throw the pass. Gonzalez makes the catch. He's grabbed there by Zibikowski, and Zibikowski's going to get called for a face mask.
Alex Gonzalez is another guy who's a pretty cagey player. A sure-handed receiver who's the extra receiver they bring in, and good moves that time to get enough of a shake on Tom Zibikowski so that when he reached out to grab, he caught some face mask.
We saw Gonzalez against Minnesota, you and I, and kind of wondered if he was any relation to Tony.
2 fouls on the play. An eligible receiver downfield on the offense. The slot back was covered up by the wideout, therefore he's ineligible. Face mask on the defense. Number 8. Those penalties offset. We'll replay the down. First down.
Number 8 is Steve Bellis. He lives in Arizona. Me, number 9, Tom Zibikowski. Remember Steve Bellis?
I remember Steve Bellis. Steve Bellis was there when I was there.
Yeah.
He was a freshman, I believe.
Quarterback.
Yeah.
3 wide receivers left, 2 out to the right. We'll try it all over again. This is what you call a redo. First down and 10. Smith, ton of time. May run, does run, fires the pass, incomplete.
And a little jump pass.
Yeah.
Started to run and had to hurdle, and while he was hurdling, threw the ball downfield, but
Derek Landry got in his way.
And 12 seconds left here now. Second down.
Well, they have a chance to run at least maybe 2 plays, depending upon how long this play takes, but then they'll send Houston in for the field goal. He's made 20 out of 24 on the year. This time they flip-flop, 3 wides to the right and 2 out to the left. Snap goes to Smith, looks, fires the pass quickly. Pass is caught inside the 15, down to about the 11-yard line. Santonio Holmes with a first down and another grab. He's well over 50 with his catches today. He has 4, and with 4 seconds left, they'll send in the field goal unit. And again, Josh Houston, 20 out of 24 on the year.
And this is going to be let me see, I got to do the quick math. So
about 30,
29, 28?
Yeah, about that.
He's 10 for 10 between the 20 and the 29.
This guy's a 6-year player. Injuries forced him to miss 2000 and 2002 seasons, so he's in his 6th year wearing the Ohio State uniform. Made his first 7, including 5 against Texas, which tied the school record. He missed his last attempt against the Longhorns, a 50-yarder. His misses this year were from 50 yards twice, once from 49 and once from 46.
He's got a strong leg. I think a kid that could be kicking on Sundays.
Did you see Doug Flutie drop kick the point yesterday?
I sure did.
First time in 65 years.
Well, it's I guess that's longer than I've been alive.
1941.
It's longer than I've been alive.
28-yard field goal, hash mark far side.
But
led the Big Ten in field goals made with 20. Led the Big Ten in kick scoring and was second in field goal percentage with 83%. Snap, spot, kick, up, and blocked. Kick was blocked. And they'll go into the locker room with a score. The Buckeyes of Ohio State 21 and the Irish 7. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Notre Dame football on Westwood One. For the most part, the sun is set behind us. The Sylvanias are on. And speaking of being on, the Buckeyes of Ohio State have been on from the very inception of their first possession after Notre Dame went 72 yards for the opening score. Walker going in from 20 yards for a touchdown to make it 7-0. Ohio State came back with an 82-yard drive, 56 of those covered by a Smith, again, touchdown pass to make it 7-7. Then at the top of the second quarter, Ginn went 68 yards to cap an 86-yard drive to make it 14-7. Midway through toward the end of the second quarter, Smith to Holmes 85 yards for a touchdown to make it 21-7. And it has been all Ohio State from their first possession on.
Well, I mean, this Ohio State team pretty much just wears on you, and Notre Dame has to find whatever it is to stop them, starting with this particular series. You don't want a long, methodical drive by Ohio State to open up.
And the driving kick by Fitzpatrick comes down to the near side. Taken by Holmes at the far outside the hash mark. Gets hit and is dropped somewhere around the 23 or 24-yard line. Good job of knifing in there to make the stop on the play by the Irish. And certainly an excellent job by Leo Farine of coming downfield and getting a piece of the action.
Well, Leo Farine got plenty of opportunities with Notre Dame playing nickel. Notre Dame opens up with its regular defensive package. That's 3 linebackers, and Maurice Crum is back in the game.
You know, as Tim Priester of Boone Gold Illustrated said, the Irish are really going to have to upgrade their secondary. Slot to the left, split end to the right. Here's the quarterback on a quarterback keeper up the middle on a little bit of a delay. Draw by Troy Smith, and he picks up maybe about 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6. And Notre Dame really has some work to do with that defensive secondary because the speed of Ohio State really has exposed. But then again, you know, you have to feel for the guys in the secondary. If the front 4 or the linebackers aren't getting to the quarterback and nobody's getting to Troy Smith, he's got all day to throw the football.
Yeah, they're on an island. You can't cover them forever.
Exactly.
And start of the season, the question mark was the secondary, and they played well this year.
2nd down and 6. Shotgun. 3 wide to the left, 1 out to the right, going down the right side to San Antonio. Holmes incomplete. Good job of coverage by Mike Richardson. So that's going to make it 3rd down and 6 to go for a 1st down.
And 3rd down and 6, you always have to be wary of Troy Smith getting it with his legs. That's one thing Ohio State has done all year long, keeping drives alive with Troy Smith running. They need 7 yards, he gets 8. They need 9 yards, he gets 12. It just keeps the drive alive, keeps the offense on the field. So a big play here for Notre Dame.
Ohio State perfect in 3rd down conversions, 5 out of 5 so far. This is their first attempt in the 2nd half. Slot left, split into the right, running back flank to the left. Here's Smith with a throw, catch made, won't be enough for a 1st down. Grab is made and tackled immediately is Roy Hall, the junior out of Cleveland, Ohio. A 6'3", 240-pound wide receiver, and he gets dumped unceremoniously, and the Irish defense gets the job done.
They get that first stop, and that's actually surprising that Roy Hall, 6'3", 240 pounds, is the most physical receiver on Ohio State, but he was slung around that time, Tone.
Wound up a couple of yards short, and this is the first Ohio State punt, I should say. A.J. Trapasso gets the ball off, sends it upfield, Zbikowski underneath it. Zbikowski takes it at the 30, to the 35, gets it up to the 40, penalty marker on the play, and he gets hit and gets knocked down at about maybe the 39-yard line. A 40-yard punt, a 12-yard return, but a penalty marker back at the 28-yard line. I believe it's going to be a block in the back against Notre Dame, not the way you want to start out.
Well, a game of angles, and sometimes I think that, for the person that gets the foul, that it's better in the film room to at least hit the guy and commit the penalty than to not launch on him at all.
Officials talking it over. They have decided, and Steve Shaw will make the announcement. Zbikowski about 7th in the nation in punt returns, averaging around 14 yards per return. Now, the referee and the field judge talking it over for a moment.
Illegal block in the back, number 20 on the receiving team. That penalty will be 10 yards from the end of the kick, 1st down.
That's Terrell Lambert.
Yep. Freshman mistake. And so they bring the ball back to, let's call it the 17-yard line. Notre Dame's first possession. Let's hope it's as good as their first possession of the game. Slot to the right. Hand off to Walker. Walker finds an opening. Walker to the 20. Walker to the 25. And Walker out of bounds on the far side. And a nice run by Darius, and he's done that all game.
Yes, he has, and he's run well all game. He's gotten good blocking, and that time a nice patient run, stretch play, going outside, makes the defense declare, and that allows the offensive lineman to get the proper angle, and then he can just use his acceleration from there to get the rest of the yards.
You know, he looks like he could have a great junior year. Very good junior year.
Well, you know, all those records I was supposed to have, he can break all of them.
Well, he got about 10 yards on that play, so it's going to be 1st and 10 with the ball up at the 27. 10-yard run by Darius Walker to start the first play of the third quarter for Notre Dame. Quinn back to throw, sets up, looks, fires a short pass. It's caught by Walker, and he gets leveled immediately. Walker getting hit by A.J. Hawk. Now, that's no big deal because when you're a running back coming out of the backfield and running laterally and somebody's zeroing in on you, boring in like the torpedo on an aircraft carrier, why, you're not going to get much.
Right, you have no leverage.
None.
You know, and so it's easy to make that tackle. But A.J. Hawk, I mean, when he jumps on the ball and comes at you, he comes with authority.
A yard gain. That's the first completion, by the way, Alan, to a receiver other than Stovall or Samardzija. Play action fake. Here is Quinn. May run. Quinn comes upfield and gets up to about the 28-yard line. And he is converged upon very quickly by Quinn Pitcock, the junior from Piqua, Ohio. Meanwhile, it now becomes 3rd down and long as Quinn doesn't get anything at all on the run.
And I tell you, Ohio State just did a good job of coverage in that defensive secondary because Quinn is getting time, but not able to find an open receiver.
4 out of 9 on 3rd down conversions for Notre Dame. Slot right, split end to the left. Lone setback is Darius Walker. Tight end is to the right. Under pressure, and down goes Quinn as A.J. Hawk comes in to make the sack.
A nice line stunt that time by A.J. Comes around the pile. The defensive line, the defensive end goes outside. The rest of the line crashes down, leaves a nice hole for A.J. Hawk to run through and get the sack.
So Brady goes down. Future brother-in-law gets him. His second, it gives him 6.5 on the year. And the third sack for Ohio State in this game. Back to punt. Fitzpatrick. Nice spiral. High upfield. Bearcat signal for by Ginn at about the 40-yard line. Great field position for the Buckeyes. 39-yard punt. 21-7 our score. Ohio State out in front. This is Westwood One's exclusive coverage of Notre Dame football.
21-7. The Buckeyes lead it over the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Under 11 minutes to go in the third quarter. 10:59 to be exact. And Ohio State will have the ball at the 40-yard line when they come back on the field. And, Tim, I think it's reasonable to expect Ohio State to look right back to the receivers that got them success in the first half, and that would be Ted Ginn Jr. and Santonio Holmes working in single coverage sometimes at that wide receiver position.
Well, both such good athletes, again, as we've said time and time again during this game, make the big play at any time. And we've seen a couple of huge plays from Ohio State in the first half. And really, a lot of times in college football, it's just about getting the hands and the balls of your playmaker, getting the ball in the hands of your playmaker and letting them make plays. So, that's what Ohio State needs to do. That last drive, they got away from it a little bit. And really, Ohio State, it's all about, using that athleticism, get the ball in the hands of Ted Ginn and Santonio Holmes and let them work in the open field. For Notre Dame's defense, got to get some more pressure on Troy Smith. Don't let Troy Smith scramble. Don't let him stand there in the pocket and deliver easy passes. Notre Dame has to get some more pressure on the quarterback.
1st and 10 now for the Buckeyes from the 41-yard line. The Ohio State portion of the field working left to right as we see it. Smith under center now. Fullback and Pittman lined up behind him. The handoff will go to Pittman following the block. Across the 45 to the 50. Green in front of him picked up the first down out of bounds into Notre Dame territory down to about the 42-yard line. And a good run right there by Pittman as he establishes himself as a threat out of the backfield. Certainly a talent. Didn't see much of him in the first half, but there he was right there picking up a first down for Ohio State.
That was Pittman's best run of the afternoon. He was finally able to get to the outside and use his superior speed to turn the corner against Notre Dame defense. And a good job by Ambrose Wooden and by Shinneman Dukwe to force him out of bounds before he broke it for an even longer game.
Stan White, the fullback, coming up with a good block right there to allow Pittman to pick up those yards on that run. And that will bring up 1st and 10 for the Buckeyes in Notre Dame territory. Ball spotted at the 43-yard line. Smith under center with two receivers split to his right. The handoff will go to Pittman, trying the middle again. Stacked up right there after a gain of maybe one on the play. Good push by the Notre Dame defensive line up front to hold that gain to a minimum.
Linebacking core right there came up to make the hit. Corey Mays and Brandon Hoyt in on that tackle once again. Whenever Ohio State's run between the tackles so far this game, they haven't had much luck. Their only luck's been scrambling for Troy Smith outside and trying to get Pittman outside. So the interior defense for the Irish has been doing a decent job as far as run stop is concerned.
2nd and 8 now for the Buckeyes. Ball placed at the 41-yard line. Troy Smith under center, backs up into the shotgun now with two receivers split to his right. Pittman lined up to his right in the backfield. And again, split out to the left. Pressure coming. Smith's hit. He shakes the tackle. And Smith throws the ball away. Incomplete pass. Got flag on the play. And we'll see what the flag is down for. Smith ducked the blitz and was able to get out of there and get a throw away. And it'll be an incomplete pass, but we'll see what the penalty is.
Great defensive call. Maurice Crum had a wide open shot at Troy Smith and just shook right off of him. Really a bad missed opportunity there for the Notre Dame defense. Great call by Rick Minner and the defensive coordinator for Notre Dame. Had Crum in perfect position and now tack on a face mask at the end of it. So what could have been a sack for Notre Dame is going to be a huge gain on the penalty for Ohio State. Actually just a 5-yard variety, but a big turnaround from a 5-yard loss to a 5-yard gain.
Fortunate break right there as the Irish only get 5 yards walked off against them with the inadvertent face mask. And that will bring up 2nd and 3 for Ohio State. Notre Dame's defense looking to come up with another stop and get the Irish offense yet another chance to work against this Ohio State defense. Looked in the beginning as though Notre Dame was going to have some success on offense, but they've done very little since then. Ohio State with the ball. 2nd and 3, 10:02 to go in the third quarter. Smith under center. He'll hand the ball off to Pittman. He'll try the middle and drag down from behind right there by several Irish players. Maurice Crum in on that hit, and Brandon Hoyt also in on the play for the Irish.
Pittman does a good job of falling forward after initial contact, as he did on this play. It's like he'd be stopped for about a 1-yard gain, fell forward and got Ohio State the first down by picking up an extra 1 or 2 yards after the initial contact. So a good job by Pittman using his strength to fall forward.
1st and 10 now for the Buckeyes. And the clock winds under 10 minutes in the third quarter. Ohio State leading 21-7. And Notre Dame's defense looking to dig their heels in. The ball is at the 33-yard line right now. Troy Smith will go out of the shotgun. Two receivers split to his left. And Ted Ginn split to his right. White, the fullback, lined up to his right in the backfield. Smith will scramble out of the backfield and pick up about 6 yards on the play before he's stacked up by Chinanum and Duque right there. And another good gain on the ground by Troy Smith.
Having that play quarterback is just so tough for a defense. You cover up all the receivers, cover the running back, and the quarterback still has the athleticism to get out in the design drop play there for Ohio State and pick up a good 5 or 6 yards on first down. A great pickup for Ohio State.
Crum and Hoyt also in on that play for the Irish defense. But Ohio State picks up 6, and that'll bring up 2nd and 4 from the 27-yard line. Smith will go under center with White and Pittman lined up directly behind him. Holmes and Ginn split out to his right. And this surveys the defense, and under center take the snap and hand the ball to Pittman. He'll try the left side, got a hold there, hit across the 25-yard line down to about the 24-yard line, where he'll be brought down, and that'll bring up 3rd and short for Ohio State.
You talk about the athleticism of Troy Smith, man. It's just hard to game plan for. Even the great offense Notre Dame saw with USC at Notre Dame Stadium, at least it's a traditional attack. Something you can game plan for. A drop-back passer, a great running back, but it's standard. When you have a quarterback that can run on his own, it changes the whole scheme of things for a defense, and it's very difficult to prepare for. Notre Dame hasn't seen it this year. It was a concern coming in, and it's proved to be very difficult for Notre Dame to deal with so far in this game.
3rd and 1 for Ohio State now from the 24. Smith under center. They'll hand the ball to Pittman, who's met in the backfield and dragged down. Flags all over on the play, and we'll see what the call is. No play on that one. And it looks like they'll redo that after they mark off the penalty.
Not really sure. It might have been a dead ball, false start on the Ohio State offense. So instead of 3rd and very short, it's now 3rd and 5 or 3rd and 6. And better opportunity here for the Irish to get a stop, although kind of a good scenario for Ohio State because on that play it looked like Pitt would have been stopped short of the first down, so they get another chance here with 3rd and 6.
3rd and 6, as you said, Matt. Ball now spotted at the 29-yard line. A little bit longer to go for the Ohio State offense. Notre Dame's defense looking to come up with a big stop here on 3rd down. Smith will go out of the shotgun. 2 receivers split out to his right. There's Ted Ginn. Split far to Smith's right. Pittman will go in motion behind Smith in the shotgun. Smith will drop back to pass. Fake like he was running the option and looks for Pittman out of the backfield. Overthrows him. And Notre Dame's defense holds. So Ohio State fails to convert on 3rd down. Now that will bring up 4th and 6. And it will be a long field goal try should they elect to go with that option for Ohio State.
Looks like they'll have a 46-yard field goal attempt. But for that defense, a great job for the Irish covering up Teddy Ginn on the deep pass. Troy Smith faked the option, stepped back, looked for Ginn deep. But he was double covered. The safety got over for one of the first times today to cover up Ginn, and he had to fall out, or he had to look for his secondary valve with Pittman out of the backfield.
Houston will attempt a 46-yard field goal to put Ohio State ahead by 17. The kick is up and blocked again as Notre Dame has blocked their second field goal of the game.
This one's Trevor Wise for the second time this season. Gets a big paw out there, knocks the ball down. 2 blocked field goals for Notre Dame to go on with 2 turnovers. It's basically as much as you can ask for as far as sudden changes and changes of possession for the Irish.
And that might be just a little bit, Tim, that the Irish need to pick up a little momentum right here.
Well, Notre Dame has had plenty of opportunities to seize momentum. At this point, it's just about the offense. There's so much experience on this offense, stepping up and rewarding the defense for their hard work. 2 blocked field goals, 2 turnovers. It's about time the offense did something to help the defense out. The defense is under so much pressure, already trailing by 14 points. This offense needs to put some points on the board, at least take some clock, some time off the clock, move the ball down the field. But this defense needs to be rewarded for its hard work. The offense has got to have some production now.
Well, Brady Quinn certainly needs to find his bearings. Talking with Charlie Weiss on the sideline. We'll wait for this TV timeout to stop. But Brady Quinn, when he goes under center, needs to be the leader of this offense. He's done it so many times this year, Matt, where he's stepped up and guided this offense in crucial situations. He did it in the Southern Cal game. He certainly did it in the last regular season game against Stanford, enabling the Irish to be here in this Fiesta Bowl in the first place. Here's yet another time Brady Quinn needs to step up and be a leader.
No doubt. Brady Quinn faced tough challenges and come through with great drives and games, but once again, he's never faced defense quite like this Ohio State defense, and we've seen why thus far all throughout the game. Their speed of all 11 people on the field is just a daunting task for this Notre Dame offense to try to counteract. We'll see what Charlie Weiss has worked up here. He's got to try to mix things up because what the Irish have been trying thus far has not been very productive. Brady Quinn's been getting hit. He's been getting rattled. They need to find a way to keep the defense off their quarterback and give them a chance to make something happen for the Irish. One thing we really haven't seen from Notre Dame since very early in the game was trying to take shots down the field. I think Notre Dame should look to that again, try and get somebody open, Samardzija or Stovall, deep down the field. We've been saying it since the middle of the first quarter, looking for that deep play from Charlie Weiss. We haven't seen it. The run game's been effective with Darius Walker. Play-action pass should be there. It's always a gamble, but Notre Dame really hasn't taken those deep shots, and look maybe for that here in the second half.
The wind has changed direction since the first half, now directly in the face of the Irish as they move right to left as we see it. They will have it 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line when play resumes, just waiting for the conclusion of the TV timeout here.
And we just saw flashed on the big board, 76,196 at this game, the largest crowd ever in a non-title game for NCAA football. Really amazing. Testament to the followings of both these teams to travel from Ohio and Indiana and elsewhere across the country, but some hardcore fans here, die hard, and it's been a great crowd. 76,000 people at this game, really unbelievable, and a testament to the work of both these teams over the course of the season.
Biggest Fiesta Bowl crowd in history on hand to witness this one in a non-title game, as you said, Tim. Quinn will go under center, 1st and 10 from the 29. He'll go with the receiver split to his right, Samardzija and Stovall to his left. Walker lined up directly behind him. And Quinn under center. He'll take the snap. Fake the handoff to Walker. Rolling to his right. Pressure coming again. He'll dump it the other way. Pass is overthrown. Darius Walker dragged down on the play. Looked like a pass interference. The Irish aren't going to get it. And I thought there should have been a call right there as Darius Walker was the intended receiver right there and got dragged down.
The reason that wasn't a pass interference was because there was a screen play behind the line of scrimmage. And behind the line of scrimmage, you're allowed to hit receivers, I believe, even if the ball's in the air. So that's the reason the flag was not thrown for the Notre Dame offense.
Tyler Whaley making the play for Ohio State, keeping Darius Walker from catching that ball. Quinn will go under center. 3 receivers. Trip receiver split to his left now. And Walker lined up behind him. Stovall, the lone receiver, split to his right. Quinn will send Walker in motion. They'll go with 5 wide now. As Quinn takes a 3-step drop, looks across the middle, has Shelton on his slant, across the 40, keeps his feet across the 45, and out to midfield as Matt Shelton comes up with a big catch for Notre Dame, and they pick up a first down.
Well, really questioning why Notre Dame hasn't stuck with that 5 wide set a little more. That's when the passing game has worked most effectively. Ohio State spread out has been least effective at stopping that passing game. Quick slants, quick outs have been there, and Notre Dame not really sticking with that throughout this game, but it's been effective when Charlie Weiss has gone to it.
Everett Schlegel in on the tackle on that play. Quinn out of the shotgun now. Flush from the pocket, scrambling up the middle across the 50 down to the 45-yard line, and Brady Quinn will pick up 4 or 5 on that play as he felt the pressure coming and got out of there and was able to make it a positive gain of 5 yards.
Ohio State's been blitzing a lot off the corners. That's the reason we haven't heard Tony Fasano's name much today, because he's been staying in and blocking instead of going out in pass patterns. And what happened on that last play was the defense kind of split open a hole right in the middle, and Quinn used that to pick up 4 yards straight up the middle.
Quinn under center now, 2nd and 5. Ball spotted at the 45-yard line of Ohio State. 3-step drop for Quinn. Has Stovall on a slant across the 35, down to the 30-yard line, and that's good for another Irish first down. And Notre Dame's offense seems to try to find their rhythm right here, and they might have found it.
Well, those slant routes have been there all day for the Irish, and another big one. This time, Maurice Stovall making the catch. Notre Dame's not going to go with the huddle. They've used this effectively. Not a hurry-up, but also not going to the huddle, trying to pressure Ohio State and keep that same personnel on the field so they can't adjust.
Quinn going with 2 receivers to his right. 1st and 10 for the Irish. Quinn looks on another slant, and the ball is dropped by Jeff Samardzija. Contact on the play coming from A.J. Hawk, but they will say the ball was there, and that will bring up 2nd and 10 for the Irish.
Can't really blame that one on Samardzija. Could have made the catch. It would have been a heck of a catch, though. Quinn put it on his back hip pocket. That's a very difficult catch in traffic, especially with A.J. Hawk making contact from behind. So Brady Quinn just needs to get that out in front of the receiver and allow the receiver to extend his hands and make the catch.
2nd and 10 now from the 32-yard line of the Buckeyes. Quinn under center with 2 receivers to his right, Stovall to his left, and Walker will motion out of the backfield to Quinn's left. Notre Dame again going to 5 wide. Pressure coming from Quinn's backside. He'll dump it over the middle. Pass is incomplete. No flag on the play again, as it looks like there's a lot of contact on the Notre Dame receivers, but that one was incomplete, thrown really in the middle of nowhere.
That play is pretty questionable by the referees there. Fasano was coming across the middle, and A.J. Hawk really just got in his way and held him up, and the ball sailed harmlessly over both of their heads. But definitely some obstruction by the defense of Ohio State that went uncalled by the referees.
3rd and 10 from the 32, a first down here would be huge for Notre Dame. Quinn will go with 3 receivers split to his right and Stovall split to his left. Walker lined up in the backfield behind him. Quinn with the 3-step drop, looking downfield, scrambles to his right. Has a receiver open, the pass is caught for a first down to the 18-yard line. Making that catch was the senior Matt Shelton, the speedy receiver, able to haul that one in, and what a huge first down for Notre Dame as they get into the Ohio State red zone.
Matt Shelton, a gutsy player, possession receiver for this team, but very fast as well, uses his speed, makes a little cut back towards the line, and makes the big catch on 3rd and long for Notre Dame.
Yabodi with the tackle on that play. Quinn will go out of the shotgun again. Walker lined up to his right. 4 receivers split out 2 to each side of Quinn. Quinn looking for a quick pass, and that is caught down to the 12-yard line. And Hardin as well will look for the number here. That looks to be Shelton again making a play. Right there was Shelton with his 2nd consecutive catch on a quick pass by Quinn.
Tackle there by Jenkins out on the corner, but a great job by Notre Dame finding a little weakness in this secondary for the Ohio State Buckeyes and really utilizing that. And great job by Darius Walker also the last couple of plays, picking up blitzes by Ohio State. Unsung hero right there, doing a good job for protecting Brady Quinn.
Notre Dame looking to score for the first time since the first quarter. Quinn under center now with 2 receivers split to each side. Quick pass from Quinn is caught by Samardzija, hit hard at the 10-yard line and dragged down right there after a gain of just a few yards. A good catch by Jeff Samardzija on that play. And the tackle on that play was made by Ashton Yabodi, the cornerback for Ohio State. Samardzija took a lick right there.
And Ohio State has been very keen to keep their eyes on Jeff Samardzija today. He has 4 catches, but just 23 yards on those 4 catches. So doing a great job of keeping Samardzija from getting away from those defensive backs, trying to avoid the big play from the big play receivers.
Another big third down right here. First down would be huge for the Irish. 3rd and 2. Ball spotted just past the 10-yard line at about the 11. Quinn will take the snap and hand the ball to Walker on a drop play. And Walker's going to take this one into the end zone. Great move by Darius Walker. And he gets in the end zone. Matt Young wrote down drop play right there off the air. And just like that, the Irish are back within a touchdown. Momentum has shifted towards the Irish right now. Great move by Darius Walker. One-on-one, right about the 3-yard line. He put a little shake and bake on the safety and carried a couple Ohio State Buckeyes into the end zone. A great drive by the Irish and exactly what they needed to get themselves back in this ball game. Gusty call right there by Charlie Weiss, and the Irish are back on the scoreboard since their first offensive possession of the game. TJ Fitzpatrick to bring the Irish within 7. His extra point is up and no good. Missed the extra point, but the Irish will stay within 8. That could be very costly for the Irish. That's a crucial miss right there. Had the length, just missed wide. But Notre Dame adds 6 points and now trails by 8. A couple costly special teams plays made the Stanford game, the last game of the season, pretty scary for the Irish. And it looks like a good hold, a good snap. DJ Fitzpatrick just pulled the ball to the right. And not even close on that extra point, really. So Notre Dame, more uphill battle to face as they try to make another comeback in this game. Fitzpatrick just missed that one to the right, but Notre Dame back on the scoreboard, encouraging for Irish fans as the offense moves the football effectively to him for the first time since their first possession of the game. 21-13. Ohio State leads it, but Notre Dame is right back in this game.
Well, so important, Paul. Not only is this reinvigorated the Notre Dame sideline, it's reinvigorated the fans here for Notre Dame who have come out in great numbers. Very excited now. Now the Notre Dame defense, has something to build on. They've done a great job. 2 blocked field goals on the last 2 Ohio State scoring opportunities. That defense is going to come out energized heading into this drive by Ohio State. Look for another stop from Notre Dame. And if Notre Dame's able to get a stop and a score coming out, momentum will have completely shifted for the Irish. Notre Dame just trying to catch that momentum right now. Big score. The mixed extra point really hurts, but at the same time, the touchdown's very important. Notre Dame actually able to march down the field for the first time since the opening minutes of this ballgame.
21-13, the Buckeyes lead the Fighting Irish with 4:25 remaining in the third quarter of the 2006 Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. Ohio State will receive the kick. Ted Ginn Jr. and Santonio Holmes will be back to receive the kick from Notre Dame. DJ Fitzpatrick, who just missed the extra point for the Irish, will kick off right to left as we see it, and certainly a stop here would be huge for the Irish.
You have to hold your breath on every kickoff because these speedy receivers can take it to the house for Ohio State. This no play is a gimme. It's a very important coverage for Notre Dame on this kickoff.
Notre Dame will be kicking into the wind, but will have the wind in the fourth quarter. And that could play a huge role as this game comes down to the wire. Just waiting for the conclusion of a TV timeout here. And Tim, when you talk about this Notre Dame defense coming back out on the field, certainly they've been leading on a lot. They've broken at points today, but coming up with a big stop and a couple big field goal blocks. You know where Ohio State's going with this. They're going back to the usual suspects. Ted Ginn Jr. and Santonio Holmes are the guys who have stepped up all day. You got to look for them right here.
Well, Ohio State's going to look to Troy Smith to make a play, either get the ball to one of those playmakers or take it himself with his feet. Troy Smith has done a good job so far this game. The last couple drives, they haven't been able to put points on the board. But at the same time, they have the weapons to score at any time.
Fitzpatrick will kick for the Irish. The kick is up and away. A fairly good kick in length, but it'll go out of bounds. And another costly mistake by DJ Fitzpatrick, usually a very consistent kicker, has made 2 mistakes in a row on 2 consecutive plays as he missed an extra point and kicked it out of bounds, which will give Ohio State the ball at the 35-yard line with great field position.
You've got to think his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. Poor performance against Stanford, like was noted many times, of course, was due to an injury. He had a brace on his leg for that game. And many people thought after a month he'd be able to come back healed and be the same DJ Fitzpatrick that was consistently a weapon for this Notre Dame offense and special teams unit. But other than some decent punts today, he has not looked very good for the Irish.
1st and 10 for the Buckeyes from the 35-yard line. Smith will go out of the gun. Twin receivers to his left, and Pittman in the backfield with him. Smith dropping back, looking to pass, has a receiver open on Ambrose Wood, misses his tackle. And that's Ted Gaines Jr. who's going to take it all the way down across the 20-yard line down to the Notre Dame 15. Zibikowski finally drags him down, but Ted Gaines Jr. makes a nice move after the catch and gets all the way down to the Notre Dame 15-yard line, just breaking the tackle of Ambrose Wooden.
Well, Ambrose Wooden, really not terrible coverage there, just a tough it's always a tough open field tackle against Ted Ginn. Ted Ginn just makes a little split move towards the inside, and then Tom Zibikowski, good pursuit, good angle to prevent the touchdown. But another big play by Ohio State. Ted Ginn, it's so hard to deal with him one-on-one, and Ambrose Wooden has really had trouble today. This has been his worst performance of the year for the Fighting Irish at cornerback.
1st and 10 from the 21 now for Ohio State. Smith under center with two receivers split to his right. Ginn to his left. Handoff will go to Pittman up the middle, and he'll be stuffed right away for no gain on the play. Good push up front by the Irish defense. And they're able to stack him up. Derek Landry in on the play for Notre Dame.
Brandon Hoy came in on the linebacker blitz against the run also and was able to get in there and hit Pittman right at the line of scrimmage. So a good job by the defense. Once again, holding Pittman to not much. Other than these long passes, this defense has played decently well for the game.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 now for Ohio State. Leading 21-13 with 3:40 remaining in the third quarter. Smith will go out of the shotgun with three receivers split to his right and two to his left. Chris Smith stands at his 31. He'll take the snap, looking downfield. Quick hitter to Ted Ginn. He makes a move, picks up a block, going backwards, and he's going to be tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Lose yards on that play. Good pursuit by the Notre Dame defense. And the Irish defense comes up with a stop on 2nd down. We'll see if they can do it on 3rd.
Ohio State, they're just trying to get the ball in the hands of Ted Ginn. Just a little quick pass to the sideline. Ted Ginn tried to make a move to the inside, but great pursuit. Good open field tackling there by the Irish defense to prevent the big play. Actually cost a loss of 2 yards on the play.
3rd and 12 for Ohio State. And Troy Smith will set up in the shotgun. Again going with 5 wide. This time trip receiver split to his left and two to his right. Troy Smith directing traffic at the line, signaling to his linemen. He'll take the snap standing at the 28-yard line. Looking downfield, dumps it across the middle. Pass is caught. And the ball is loose, fumbled on the play. Zibikowski has it. Across the 20. He's going the other way. Across the 30. Across the 40. Across the 50. Down to the 40. Zibikowski might take it. And Tom Zibikowski, the Irish safety, is going to take it all the way to the house for a Notre Dame touchdown.
A huge play. Gonzalez fumbled the ball. It might be reviewed because it's a very close play. But Gonzalez fumbled the ball down around the 15-yard line. Zibikowski, being aware, picks it up and kick it back all the way for a touchdown.
87-yard touchdown return for Tom Zibikowski. Gonzalez was open, had the first down.
Penalty marker thrown down at the 31-yard line. They may call that a completed pass, a fumble, and Zibikowski did what he does best, picked it up and ran it the other way. But
well, he took 2 steps, and the ball was out on the ground, and Tom clearly picked it up.
This will be interesting. They're huddling now at the 10-yard line. Nobody made a decision. Now they're huddling at the 10.
Yeah, I think they probably...
Return, number 15, illegal block in the back on Notre Dame. It'll be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, 1st and 10.
Well, they're going to call it a fumble, and Zibikowski gets credit for the recovery.
And the penalty by Leo Ferrin, I'm wondering, does he even need to make a block?
No, he doesn't. Zibikowski was out in front of everybody.
Well, and they've already made the penalty, so it's too late to review the thing. But he had 2 steps with the ball, and one camera angle looks like he really doesn't have possession. But we will see what happens.
The ball is at the Ohio State 41-yard line. Now, the Buckeye fans don't like the call of fumble.
But I tell you, alert play on the part of Zibikowski's part. And I think the review is coming.
But did they blow the play dead?
No, they didn't blow the play dead.
Wait a minute.
It's a weird play anyway you look at it, but I think what has to be determined was did Alex Gonzalez have control of the football when he was running with it. In the replay, some angles show that he did, some show that it wasn't. And it has to be conclusive that he did not have possession of the football.
And while they check the video replay, we remind you can check the replay as well, whatever you want. Control Live TV 2 with Comcast Digital Video Recorder. Call 1-888, the number 4, BES TV today for more information. Dave Perry, National Coordinator of the video replay.
Well, you know,
here's the announcement.
Video evidence shows that the pass was not complete. The receiver never had possession. Incomplete pass. We will have 4th down on the 23-yard line.
Well, it's 4th down, which means that Notre Dame has a chance to block another field goal.
Well, that doesn't make the Irish faithful very happy.
Well, I mean, the goal of replay is just to get it right.
Right.
You know, you don't want a bad call deciding the outcome of a game. So if you get it right, then you just go ahead and play. And I know that Houston, the kicker for Ohio State, is sitting there saying to himself, maybe this is the one where I don't get it blocked. Maybe I can get some good blocking up front so that I have time to kick it. I think one of the things with Houston, though, his ball is coming out off his foot with a low trajectory, because it's not like anybody from Notre Dame has a 40-inch vertical and is getting up and blocking it.
Trapasso, the punter, is the holder. This will be a 40-yard field goal from the hash mark near side. Notre Dame is blocked 2. Snap, spot, the kick is up, and it is good. A 40-yard field goal. This time, the third time, was the charm for Josh Houston. And the score is now 24-13 Ohio State. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Notre Dame football on Westwood One. Tony Roberts along with Alan Pinkett here at Sun Devil Stadium for Fiesta Bowl number 35. And right now, the Buckeyes have expanded their lead to 11 points, 24-13, after a 40-yard field goal by Josh Houston. He is 21st in a total of 27 attempts this year.
And a 4-point turnaround because Notre Dame scores a touchdown on the fumble return, which was negated by the block in the back, but then Ohio State retains possession, kicks a 40-yard field goal, which makes it an 11-point game with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. Notre Dame still in striking distance.
Here's Houston's run-up and the kick. Forget it. About 8 yards deep into the end zone, and the ball will come out to the 20-yard line once again.
And Notre Dame, I think it still has to be considered a win to not let Ohio State in the end zone, even though they got the field goal. But the one thing they have to do is they have to trade touchdown for field goal.
Notre Dame had the ball at the 28 when Houston slipped on the opening kickoff. The 20, they got it at the Ohio State 15, blew an opportunity to go out in front there. Head at the 20, the 9, the 26, the 17, the 29, and the 20. Field position is something they haven't had.
No.
3 wides to the left side. They break that up, sent Fasano in motion to the right side. Quinn changes the play at the line of scrimmage. One back set, takes the snap, hands it off to Walker. Big hole. Walker finds the right side, and he also finds Mr. Hawk there waiting for him to wrap him up.
And he stuttered in the hole to try and shake A.J. Hawk. I think you have to go after the linebacker full speed and then stick him one way, go the other, because the linebacker is going to have to react to you. I think that time Darius reacted to the linebacker.
Gain of 2 at the most, 2nd down and 8. Short drop, quick throw near side, pass caught by Stovall, past the 30 up to about the 32, move the chains at the 1st down.
Well, that time they move Ashton Yabuti over, and Stovall works him too.
6 catches on the day for Maurice Stovall, which gives him 66 on the year.
And now Mr. Malcolm Jenkins, number 2, is back over in coverage on Stovall, giving him a heck of a cushion.
First down and 10. Irish at their own 32-yard line. Walker flanked to the left of Quinn. Goes out into the secondary. Quinn looking, throws the pass. Caught by Fasano. Fasano upfield, up to him, and he fumbled the ball, and who's got it? I believe Notre Dame recovered.
And Matt Shelton over there. Oh, no. Yeah, Matt Shelton over there making a heads-up play.
Fasano gets the ball up to the 40-yard line, and the ball bounces back to about the 39, where it's recovered by Matt Shelton. That'll make it second down and a little more than 3 to go for a first down.
And Notre Dame with the no huddle. It's not a hurry-up offense. It's just a no huddle offense.
From the shotgun, Brady Quinn. Back to throw. Has the time. Fires the pass. Caught and down immediately after getting past the 45, 46-yard line. He'll move the chains again. It's another first down as Samardzija comes up with his 5th catch.
And good play by Samardzija because he identifies the zone, sits down in the spot, but once he catches it, just backs up. Doesn't try to turn because he would turn into the pressure, and that's how he's able to get the first down.
First down and 10 at the 46-yard line. Empty backfield, quick throw near side. Walker makes the grab, and he's down at about the 49-yard line of the Ohio State Buckeyes. That'll be a gain of around 4.
Mike Kudla in coverage. And he's the defensive end, but he can play. He's very versatile where he can drop into coverage or he can rush.
That's Walker's first, second. Okay. Second down and a little more than 5 to go for the first down. Walker flanked to the left. And a timeout's been called here because that's the end of the third quarter. We have played 3 in the 35th Fiesta Bowl. And it's been mostly Ohio State out in front by 11, 24-13. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Notre Dame football on Westwood One. With 15 minutes remaining in the game, the start of the fourth quarter brought to you by Geico Insurance. 15 minutes could save you 15% on your car insurance. And by the way, Darius Walker's last catch was his second of the game. Came into the game second best receiving season for a Notre Dame running back with 36 receptions. Needed 2, got them both. Has now passed Bob Gladjo and set a new standard after 37 years, 38 receptions by a running back of Notre Dame.
You know, Tone, I don't know if I agree with allowing the bowl games to count for the stats for the regular season. I think that's why they have regular season and postseason. I think what's going to happen is a lot of record books get rewritten.
Right. You're absolutely right. But, you know, they started that, and now you can't go back. Once you start it, you can't. It's like trying to take home runs away from Rafael Palmeiro, okay?
Yeah.
You can't do it because you don't know when. But anyway, Notre Dame with 16 first downs. The Buckeyes at 21. The Irish up to 79 yards rushing. And Ohio State has 177. Notre Dame with 180 yards passing. Ohio State 295. 472 total offense for Ohio State. 259 for Notre Dame.
And they're only down by 11, so.
But they got to make it happen on this possession. Tossed to the far side and ridden out of bounds right in front of the Notre Dame bench over on the far side is Stovall.
And A.J. Hawk got a running start. Stovall looked like he had some room to run, but A.J. Hawk looking like Brian Urlacher coming across the field. And, of course, he caught Stovall running sideways, so Stovall didn't have any power.
Stovall loses a yard on the reception, and now it is third down and at least 6. Top of the fourth quarter, 24-13. David Grimes comes out of the ball game. Stovall wide to the left. Samardzija out to the right. Empty the backfield with Walker. Back to throw. Quinn has the time. Under pressure. Gets hit. Looks. Comes to the left side. Gets away from one man. Comes to the right side. Takes the hit. And gets knocked down out of bounds. And you know who made the hit?
A.J. Hawk.
The brother-in-law got the best of it in this game so far.
I don't know. It might not be brother-in-law, Tone, because she might break up with him if Ohio State wins. But anyway, I tell you, good job by Brady Quinn staying alive. Tried to run for it. Good coverage again by Ohio State.
And you know, when you have that much time to throw the football, somebody's got to break away from contain.
Right.
Somebody's got to break away and come back and help the quarterback. Sixth punt of the game for DJ Fitzpatrick. Gets the snap and gets it off. End over and coming down near side. Ginn takes it at the 17. Cuts to the 20. Still on his feet. 25. And gets up past the 20. Make it the 30 up to about the 32-yard line, where it'll be first down and 10. 32-yard punt, but a 13-yard return. And so that means 19 net. It'll be first and 10, Ohio State at the 31. They lead 24-13. This is Westwood One's exclusive coverage of Notre Dame football. Roberts along with Alan Pinkett here at the Fiesta Bowl in Tempe, Arizona. It's been like trying to climb up Camelback. It's been a long, hard struggle for the Irish. Down by 11, 24-13, and obviously need a defensive stop here as Ohio State takes over first and 10 at their own 31-yard line. One thing Notre Dame hasn't had for the most part today is field position. One thing Ohio State has had is field position, and when they haven't had it, they've been able to come up with a big play. Smith again, 56 yards for a touchdown. Again, a 68-yard touchdown run on a reverse. Smith to Holmes, 85 yards for a touchdown, and Houston with a 40-yard field goal. So the big play has been all Buckeyes today.
Yeah, they've been an explosive offense with the big plays, and, you know, when they haven't had the big play, they've been pretty steady all game long. This time, Notre Dame's going to counter with their nickel defense. Maurice Crum, Brandon Hoyt at linebacker, Leo Ferrin, the extra defensive back that's in. He's going to be over top of Roy Hall.
Slot to the right, wide out to the left, running back flank to the left of the quarterback, Troy Smith. Swings it out to the far side to get it in the hands of Ginn. Ginn eludes one man, eludes another. Spins around and finally winds up at about the 35-yard line, picking up maybe 3.5 yards on the play. Wind up in the hands of Derek Landry to make the stop on the play.
That's an excellent way to get a decleater when you catch that wide receiver screen and try to come back all the way across the field. It's like running into the Sharks. And you got to keep your head on the swivel, because the next thing you know, a defensive lineman can come back and bow, hit you. But that time they get, 4 yards on the thing.
Ginn now goes as the wide receiver off to the far side. Second down and 5 to go from the 36. Handoff goes to Santonio Holmes. Comes out to the near side. Breaks into the secondary. And Tom Zbikowski makes, I'm not going to say a touchdown-saving tackle, but he certainly stopped him from getting a long gainer by dropping him at the 50-yard line. Picks up 15 yards on the play.
And that's just whenever you have nickel in, that's one less linebacker. It's a smaller guy to block when you're on offense, and that time they line up in the eye and execute their offense. If you see them with nickel, you run it. If you see them with regular defense, you pass it.
Ball at midfield. 15 carries, 61 yards for Pittman. Flank part of the right is Ginn. Handoff goes to Pittman off the left side, and Pittman down to the 40, down to the 35-yard line and out of bounds. And right now, Ohio State having its way with Notre Dame coming off the left side again, this time for 12 yards.
Well, it's the fourth quarter, and that's when the offensive line really wears on you. And that particular play, Mike Richardson came up with a nice force to make the ball get turned in, but Ohio State sealed off the inside and gave Pittman a nice lane outside to run in.
Maybe Ohio State's just going to try to ram it down their throats the rest of this game. Gonzalez goes wide to the right. Pittman comes out of the backfield. He becomes a wide receiver on the right side. Now they break that up. They send Troy Smith out there. Here's Ginn. Starts to the right, comes back to the left, goes up the middle, and gets hit by Zbikowski and is down inside the 35, down at the 33-yard line.
And the second time they run that formation, the last time they ran it, they had a delay of game penalty, so couldn't execute the play. But everybody in the house knows that it's going to be a quarterback draw. So again, although he has some quarterback capabilities. Like I said, he played quarterback in the Alamo Bowl. When was it? 2 years ago?
Yeah, a couple of years back. Second down and 4 to go for the first down. I tandem. Handoff goes to Pittman coming out to the near side, and he's going to be run out of bounds. Could not square those shoulders and turn it upfield. Good job of sealing it off by Mike Richardson and Zibikowski.
And knocking the ball out of bounds to stop the clock, because the clock is going to become precious. Notre Dame, it's a 2-possession game for them. They need 2 scores, so every second is precious.
5 out of 8 for Ohio State on third down. They were 5 for 5 in the first half. They've been going 0 for 3 in the second half. Double slot, running back flank to the right. Pittman. Smith, the quarterback, takes the snap, looks, short drop, pump fake, looks, rolls out to the right, being chased, fires the pass, caught on the far side by Hall, and Hall is down inside the 20 at the 15-yard line. Roy Hall, the 6'3", 240-pound junior from Cleveland, Ohio, makes the play, and it's first down in the red zone for Ohio State at the Notre Dame 16-yard line.
Roy Hall reminding people of David Boston with that size and combination of speed. But Troy Smith made that play happen because he didn't have his initial read, and he just raced to the right side where he had open field, and you can't come up while he's still running, and he finds a receiver downfield, keeps the drive alive.
17 out of 24 for Smith. 316 yards and 2 touchdowns. Handoff off the left side, and he does not get very far. Pittman stopped at about the 10, 15-yard line, gain of maybe 1.
Yeah.
And if there's an MVP in this game, you're looking at number 10. Not Notre Dame's number 10, but Ohio State's number 10.
They still got some time left, man. Never say never. I think what Notre Dame has to do right here, they got to get 2 scores anyway. But if they can hold Ohio State to a field goal, that makes it a 14-point game. So they need to try and focus on getting a stop on this particular series of downs right here.
11:28 left to go. The clock winding down. Hall has come back into the ball game. He'll be a wide receiver out on the left side along with Ted Ginn. They show double slot. Pittman is flanked to the left of the quarterback, Troy Smith. Irish are rushing 4. Smith looks to the right, fires the pass, and it's batted out of the way. Great job out there of knocking the ball out of the way, and that's by Victor Abiamiri. And Victor Abiamiri, who led Notre Dame this season with 8 sacks, has not been able to get close to Troy Smith.
Yeah, he's having to work over Kirk Barton. But if you can't get to him, then raise your hands up. And Victor really had a breakout game against Stanford with 10 tackles and 4 sacks to take over the sack lead, because prior to that, Brandon Hoyt was the sack leader. But Tone, big one right here.
Third down and 9 at the 15-yard line of Notre Dame. Ginn goes wide to the right. Slot to the left side. Running back flank to the left of the quarterback. Looking to the right. Quarterback draw up the middle. And Smith trying to find some running room. Not going to get the first down. Gets inside the 10, down to about the 8 or 9 yard line. It will be 4th down, and still perhaps 3 yards to go for a first down.
Had a feeling that Ohio State wasn't going to take a chance putting the ball in the air when they got the luxury of a great running quarterback. Let him make the play with his legs, but Notre Dame doing a good job staying at home and a good job with leverage to not give Smith any place to run the football. He still gets, 4 or 5 yards on the carry.
4th down and 3, Trapasso the holder. Houston will try another field goal. He's 1 out of 3 in this game. This will be a 26-yarder, hash mark right side. Snap, spot, kick up, and it is good. 26-yard field goal by Houston. That increases the lead to 27-13, Ohio State. This is Westwood One's exclusive coverage of Notre Dame football. By Sylvania, college football scoreboard. See the world in a new light. Wisconsin beats Auburn 24-10 in an upset in the Capital One Bowl. Meanwhile, Virginia Tech 34-20, make that 35-24 over Louisville. And Florida holds on to beat Iowa 31-24. And Alabama shuts down Texas Tech in that high-powered offense 13-10. That was in the Cotton Bowl.
Well, with 10 minutes and 12 seconds left, plenty of time. Notre Dame win that time by just getting the field goal to make it a 14-point game. Notre Dame needs 2 scores.
If I might quote a dear departed old friend of mine, George Allen, who came to Washington in 1972, and you know what he said? The first thing he said is, the time is now.
Head coach of the Over the Hill gang.
That's right. And the time is now. Yeah. They got to put some points on the board. Not field goal points, touchdown points, and extra points on this possession.
Right. Even that extra point looms large now, because if they, now they're looking to tie. They had that extra point. They could go for a win if they get 2 scores.
Exactly. You know where this kickoff is going. Where the rest of them go.
This one out of the end zone.
Out of the end zone. Boy, this guy is worth his weight in gold. He doesn't ever have to kick a field goal in the game. All he has to do is kick off.
Yeah, he might get a job on Sunday just kicking off.
Boy, somebody's got to take a look at that foot. That's a thunder leg.
Because in the pros, they go back another 5 yards, I believe.
Right.
And he's already kicking it out of the end zone where he is. He's kicking 5 yards deep.
80 yards away. Notre Dame with the ball, 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. 3 wide to the right, empty out the backfield. Walker goes out to the left. Quinn drops back to the 11. Over the middle he goes. Pass caught by Stovall. And Stovall charges forward, gets to the 35, a pickup of 15. His 8th catch of the game.
And he's over 100 yards now with that catch. Stovall, he drags all the way across the formation, with the empty backfield. You just crisscross, and somebody's going to come open because the linebacker's got to latch into somebody. I said Stovall was over 100 yards. It's 110 to be exact.
So Maurice having a big game. Quinn back to throw, has the time, looks, flushed out of the pocket, fires the pass near side. Shelton makes the grab and is spun around and down at about the 41-yard line. So Shelton makes the catch and he gets tackled immediately. So Kudla, the defensive end who dropped off to make the tackle on the play, senior from Medina, Ohio. But it's going to be 2nd down and about 4 yards to go for a 1st down. Double slot once again. 20 out of 33, 200 yards for Brady Quinn. Quick throw near side. 1st down catch made and out of bounds after making the grab is Matt Shelton, who's having quite a game. That's 5 for Matt Shelton. That's about the most he's caught this year at a game.
It is.
Gives him 28 on the year.
Yep, it is. And who are they working on? Number 2, Malcolm Jenkins.
Quinn looks at the sideline for a play. 27-13 Ohio State, 9:15 left to go in the 4th quarter.
Imperative Notre Dame get a touchdown on this drive as time runs down.
Samardzija in a slot on the left side. Stovall the wideout. Man in motion. Fasano to the right side. Sets as the tight end. Play action fake. Blitz is on. And Stovall. Check that. Make it. Quinn goes down at the 30-yard line. Big rush by Mike Kudla. Kudla with his 7.5 sack of the year.
And that's,
number 4 for Ohio State today.
I called before the game, Ryan Harris having to have a big game against Mike Kudla, and Mike Kudla beats him on the snap and just a speed rush, and Brady tried to avoid him, but then Kudla just slings him back, and that's a big loss.
15 yards on the play. 2nd down and 25, Notre Dame. Back at their own 32. Inside screen, near side, taken by Walker. Walker 35, Walker to the 40, still on his feet, gets it up to the 45. Almost back within 2 yards of the original line of scrimmage. Notre Dame will be looking at 3rd down and 12. They pick up 13 on the play.
Well, that time the screen works because the linebackers are in zone coverage. What they've been doing is having a linebacker isolate on Darius on the other screen so they get good yards on that. Might be 4-down territory now.
3rd and 12 for Notre Dame. 12th straight completion for Brady Quinn. Make it 13. Down to the 35. Down to the 30. Inside the 30. It's Samardzija down to the 27-yard line. 13 straight completions for Brady Quinn.
Well, he's found something, and he's caught fire. And, you know, the one thing about Brady, he always maintains composure, which is important in that huddle, because the guys are going to look to him, and if he panics, they're going to panic.
First and 10 Irish inside the 30 at the 27-yard line. Double slot. Quinn under pressure, fires a pass. Walker makes the grab, but he's down in his tracks at the 25-yard line.
Ohio State in cover 2 right now and waiting for Notre Dame to send an Anthony Fasano across the middle. They made the first down with a reception over the middle. A lot of times when teams are trying to protect the lead, they leave the middle of the field open.
Walker's reception good for 2, second down and 8. 3 wides to the right, 1 out to the left. Walker wide to the left side. Quinn, short drop, quick throw, incomplete. It was on the backside of Samardzija.
And Dante Whitner in coverage gets a good jump on the ball from his strong safety position. And yes, it was behind just a little bit, but you know you can't deny the fact that it's a good jump by that defensive back by the strong safety. 5'11", 205 from Cleveland, Dante Whitner.
Third down and 8 to go. Notre Dame 6 out of 13 on third down. And they call a timeout as Brady Quinn goes to the sideline. The score remains 27-13. Ohio State, 7:03 left to go in the game. Notre Dame threatening. You're listening to exclusive coverage. Notre Dame football on Westwood One. Brady Quinn has completed 13 straight passes, 24 to 38, 250 yards. Notre Dame's touchdowns have come on runs by Walker, 20 and 10 yards. Third down and 7 to go with a ball at the... No, the last pass was incomplete. It's okay. We went 12 straight. Here is Shelton in motion. Quinn from the shotgun, back to throw. Fires the pass deep. Nobody there. I don't know what happened to Samardzija. He got tangled up amongst a couple of players.
And you obviously go for it right here. On 4th and about 8, 4th and 7. It looked like Darius Walker was going to come free over the middle, but Brady had committed to one of his wide receivers.
Well, this is it. 6:57 left to go. The Irish have to convert here. 4th down. On 4th down, Notre Dame 8 out of 16 this year. They missed in this first half, so they're 8 out of 17.
And the key is if Ohio State blitzes, and they don't.
Quinn, quick throw, far side, Stovall, catch, first down. What did we talk about while we were listening to the commercial?
Find Stovall anywhere.
Anywhere. You asked me where, I said anywhere. Just get him the ball.
And he went up that time, very athletic catch, almost got his legs cut out from under him by Nate Sally, but he sure hands the football, keeps the drive alive.
Number 6 in receptions with 121. He came into this game needing 8 to pass McAfee and take over 5th. He had to get 9 to move past our old buddy Derek Mays in the 4th place all time. That's his 9th.
All right.
First down and goal to go at the 9-yard line. Walker goes from wide receiver to tailback. Carlson starts in motion. Play action fake. Over the middle. Pass. Is it caught? Touchdown Irish. No.
But they're going to get a flag because he got hit as he was going into the end zone.
It was intended for Samardzija in the end zone.
Right. He got hit going into the end zone, actually knocked down, and the ball came out. You can't touch him when the ball's in the air.
Officials huddling at the 5-yard line.
And they've got to get it right because the pass interference call is not reviewable.
Right. Brady Quinn eavesdropping. Several Ohio State players eavesdropping.
they could be discussing was it catchable, but...
Here's the announcement.
Pass interference on the defense, number 51. Penalty will be enforced at the spot of the foul at the 2-yard line. First and goal.
That'll be Anthony Schlegel. Well, the Irish were down here before in this red zone and couldn't punch it in. And boy, does that one series loom big when they took over at the Ohio State 15 and got nothing?
It does. I'm not mad at them for that, but I like the aggressiveness. But yeah, you can look back over a course of a few plays and
12th play in this drive, Allen. I tandem. Marcus Freeman in there. Handoff Walker. Walker jumps over somebody, and that's as far as he's going to get. He's got back to the 2-yard line.
Well, anytime you've got to go up in the air, it slows you down. And good penetration on the part of Ohio State that made Darius Walker have to jump over somebody, and then from there, the pursuit came and got him.
Matter of fact, he lost a yard back to the 3-yard line.
And Notre Dame...
Somewhere along the way, they're going to have to throw the ball in this series.
Well, one of the plays they like is like a little sideways swing pass to the receiver.
Unless it's the quarterback draw. 3 wides right, 2 out to the left. Quinn, quick throw, near side, incomplete. Fasano fell down in the end zone.
Empty backfield, and Quinn had to throw it as he was falling because Ohio State brought pressure, and they do get to the quarterback, but Brady probably let the ball go just a second before he really wanted to.
So now it becomes 3rd down and goal to go at the 3-yard line.
And change of personnel again. I like play action on this play. You bring your beef in, you fake the run, and you go for a pass.
Samardzija goes wide to the left. You got Marcus Freeman in there. Carlson, handoff Walker, power move to the right side. Walker, end zone. Did he make it? He's at the 1-foot line.
Tried to power his way in, but a good push that time by Ohio State. And they end up on the goal line.
And here it is, folks. One of those many that you face in the course of a season, moments of truth.
I guess the Notre Dame faithful are thinking that the ball crossed the goal line and then was pushed back, so just have to see if there's going to be a review.
Why didn't review it? Now they're going to review it. They will have a review.
And that goal line is like a force field. If you cross any part of it, and it's a touchdown. And we are waiting to see if it's a touchdown ourselves on the replay, and it looks as if he got a good push, and I'm looking at the ball, and
breaks the plane. Yeah, it did. The ball broke the plane of the goal line. And while they check the video replay, as we just did, we're going to remind you that you can replay whatever you want and control live TV too with Comcast Digital Video Recorder. Call 1-888 and the number 4, BES TV today for more information.
Video evidence shows that the ball carrier put the ball out over the goal line. Therefore, we have a touchdown.
Touchdown Irish. The 3rd touchdown of the game for Darius Walker. 80 yards and 14 plays. It ain't over yet, folks.
And they used up a little more than 5 minutes on that drive.
Well, his touchdowns are getting shorter, 20, 10, and 3. But a 3-touchdown game for Darius Walker.
Well, the ball isn't getting heavy. You can give it to him as many times as you want. And just a good power run by Darius Walker, and a heady play to know that once contact occurred, just stick the ball out.
Which is a career high for Darius Walker. Yeah. His previous high was 2 touchdowns twice. Now, he has a new standard. 3 touchdowns in a game.
And he might not be done, Tone.
I hope he isn't, because it now becomes a 27-19 game. 4:55 showing on the clock. And is the next defensive series huge?
Extremely. Enormous.
Okay, they go for the one here. Try to make it 27-20.
Please reset the clock to 5 minutes and 27 seconds.
Whoa.
Wow. Oh.
27 seconds.
5:27. They had 4:55 on there.
Yeah, that's a lot of time to have elapsed.
By the way, that ties Jerome Bettis' record against Florida back in '92 in the Sugar Bowl.
The bowl games.
Autry Denson, I should say, against Georgia Tech in the '99 Gator Bowl. Snap, spot, kick is up, and it is good. And it's now a 27-20 game. Another red zone touchdown. And with that touchdown, Milwaukee Electric 2 makes another donation for Habitat for Humanity. Milwaukee Electric 2, supporting the next generation of tradesmen and women at work. The score with 5:27 on the clock and not 4:55. The clock has been reset. 5:27 is Ohio State 27 and Notre Dame 20. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Notre Dame football on Westwood One. The next play is always the most important play. Now Notre Dame will kick off. You got Santonio Holmes on the far side at the 8-yard line, and at the 7-yard line on the near side, you have the ever-dangerous Mr. Ginn, who has found his way into the end zone twice from 56 and 68 yards, and Holmes from 85.
And if you had to pick your poison, you'd probably kick it to Holmes.
And I kick it to the sideline, so use the sideline as the extra defender.
And try to pin him in, but you can't kick it out of bounds.
No. 27-20, and nobody's leaving the Fiesta Bowl, number 35. And the boot, headed toward Holmes. Picks it up, drops it, picks it up again. At the 5, gets it out to the 10, gets to the 15, and is dropped there. First down and 10, Ohio State at the 15-yard line. Mission accomplished.
And the next part is, seeing if Ohio State comes out in their I formation or if they come out in the shotgun. They come out in the shotgun and they throw it. 3 things happen when you throw it, and only one of them is good. You can get an incomplete, you can get an intercepted, or you can get a completion.
Well, we're looking for our first interception of the game. Neither team has had a pick. Ginn goes out to the far side against Ambrose Wooden. And that, at times, has been a disaster in this game. Handoff goes to Pittman, and Pittman gets to the 15 and is dragged back. Tommy Zibikowski tried to steal the ball away the way he did against Michigan State a couple of years ago and ran about 80 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah, and that's one thing that's changed in college. It used to be you only had guys trying to strip the ball in the pros, but they do it in college now, and like you said, Tom Zibikowski did it against Michigan State a couple of years ago and was the Walter Camp Player of the Week that week for doing it after running 75 yards for a score.
Gain of a yard, it'll be second down and 9. Holmes goes out to the far side, and Ginn comes out to the near. Slot left, split end out to the right. Pittman flanked to the left of the quarterback. Smith, all kinds of time, fires the pass. Knocked down, incomplete. So now we got a third down situation.
And I think what they have to do with Troy Smith is get him out of the pocket. Let him run around the corner. That's where he makes his plays.
He's posing for pictures back there, but fortunately for Notre Dame, Derek Landry got a big paw up there and knocked it down. The senior tackle out of Concord, California. Is this the biggest third down of the ball game?
Yes, it is.
Because it's a third down right now. You got it right.
And I think they line up in the shotgun again. You got to keep your eyes on Ginn. I don't think Notre Dame blitzes on this.
76,196, every one of them standing. Smith rolls to the right, stops, looks, pumps, fakes, throws the pass out to the far side. Catch is made. It's going to be enough for a first down. They got Pittman swinging out of the backfield, and Smith delivers the ball and gets the first down.
And that was his last option, but it was a good sprint action to the right, and then he drops back to throw, and he looks downfield. That's enough to create separation so that Pittman can run his swing route, and then when he catches it, can get the first down.
First down and 10, Ohio State. The ball is at the 26-yard line of the Buckeyes. Slot left with Ginn the wide out on the near side. Notre Dame coming with a blitz? No. Hand off to Pittman off the right side, and he doesn't get very far.
And at some point, you have to become conscious with the timeouts.
Yep.
3 minutes and 48 seconds right now. You get a nice stop on first down. You hope that Ohio State throws the ball and you get an incompletion. You had one that get an interception. But he's going to throw a high percentage pass at this point.
Buckeyes have 3 timeouts remaining. Notre Dame has 2. Gain of a yard by Pittman makes it 2nd down and 9. Holmes goes to the far side. Ginn comes out to the near with Gonzalez in the slot.
I think you got to watch Gonzalez. He has a knack for making big plays in this situation.
Troy Smith takes the snap, trying to get anywhere. Couldn't get anywhere. He looked like he was wrestling. He looked like he was in mud. And Derek Landry made the tackle on the play, and Smith trying to get those legs going, but they weren't going anywhere, and down he went.
Derek Landry, good push, just pushing his guy backwards and pushes him into Troy Smith, and he couldn't turn and move anywhere. They lost yards on the play.
Lost 2, and now we're right back to where we were a moment ago.
Yeah,
back to square one.
Yep.
Biggest 3rd down of the game because it's 3rd down and 11. Holmes to the far side. Gonzalez in the slot on the near. Ginn to the near sideline. Leo Farine is working against Ginn. Smith looking to the near side. Smith looking. Under pressure. Gets hit. Gets away from one man. Spins around. Throws the pass to the far side. Pass caught. This is going to be enough for a first down. The missed tackle. Gonzalez makes the play, and the missed tackle gives Ohio State the first down.
Well, give credit to Troy Smith for staying alive on the play. Had forever to throw it, then the pocket finally collapses. He spins out of it, and you think he's going to run, but he's constantly looking downfield. And Anthony Gonzalez does a good job of finding the open spot and knows where the sticks are. Now, Notre Dame might have to start using timeouts.
Terrell Lambert had an opportunity to stop him from getting the first down, but couldn't make the tackle. And again, the Buckeyes convert on 3rd down. 1st and 10. The ball near the 40-yard line. Handoff off the left side. Coming up to the 45, to the 50. Breaking away. This ball game is going to be over. Ohio State's going to win it. Touchdown, Antonio Pittman. 60-yard romp for the score.
You know, it almost looked like a kickoff return because he had a wall of blockers when he got up there. He was patient, and then they got a hat on a hat, and all he had to do was just race down the sidelines untouched.
And again, the big play comes back to haunt Notre Dame. 4th big play touchdown of the game.
Well, I mean, coming into the game, you knew that was the one thing Notre Dame couldn't do was give up the big play. Ohio State known for the big play. Ohio State cashes in.
It is now 33-20 with 1:46 to go. The point after touchdown by Houston. Snap, spot, kick up, and another one. 34-20 Buckeyes. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Notre Dame football on Westwood One. 85-yard drive in 7 plays. Ohio State. Smith again, 56 yards for a touchdown to tie the game at 7 in the first quarter. In the second quarter, Ginn 68 yards for a touchdown to go out in front 14-7 and never be headed thereafter. Smith to Holmes 85 yards in the same quarter to make it 21-7. Houston a 40-yard field goal to make it 24-13. Houston a 26-yard field goal to make it 27-13. And Pittman with a 60-yard touchdown run to make it 34-20.
And it's been the big play, like you say, Tone, and you know, looking at this Notre Dame football team, where do you think they need the upgrade? Well, I guess it has to be on defense, just somebody that can stop the big plays. But you got to give some credit to Ohio State, too. They're a good football team.
Pittman 136 yards and 21 carries. Ginn 8 receptions, 166 yards. Holmes 5 catches, 124 yards.
Well, they put some numbers
They put
up.
the ball in the hands of the big playmakers.
And again, with the 68-yard reverse. Career day for Ginn. And that's, when you talk to the Ohio State faithful, they always talk about you got to get the ball in the hands of Ted Ginn Jr.
You got to remember that Pittman came into this game 19th in the nation, averaging 109 yards a game, was 5th in the Big Ten among the running backs. That's his 7th 100-yard rushing game of the year. He's now had 5 in the last 7 games. He has 8 for his career.
Well, he's definitely solidified the lead role in that tailback situation. After Maurice Clarett was gone, had trouble finding somebody who was going to step up.
Who? Who?
Yeah, well, that's what they're saying now is who. That's what Ohio State is saying now is who, because Antonio Pittman is doing a real good job, and he's just been a solid performer all year long.
We saw him get 186 against Minnesota in the game that you and I did up at Minneapolis.
Yep.
Run up and the kick, like all the others. Not returnable. So the ball will come out to the 20-yard line. And Notre Dame has 1:46 left.
Not out of the realm of possibility.
No, not at all.
Because you get a quick touchdown,
not at all.
And then you make the onside kick. And if you can recover the onside kick.
Hey, I did the hula ball. And Central Florida was down by 10 with 1-something to go, 1:46. Got the touchdown, got the onside kick, got the field goal, tied it up, lost it in overtime.
Yeah, that was a good trip. I was there with you on that, 49-48.
From the shotgun, Brady Quinn at the 20-yard line, under pressure, looks to throw, fires the pass, and Maurice, check that, Darius Walker makes the catch. Get about 8 yards on the play. Anthony Fasano, well, that's 5 catches, by the way, for Walker. Anthony Fasano's been limited to 1 reception on the day.
And he fumbled on that reception. I know that somewhere in the game plan they wanted to get him involved more, but didn't work out that way.
2nd and a yard. Quinn, short throw. Walker makes the grab and tries to get some yards and loses a couple.
Yeah, bad decision because he gets the first down, the clock stops. He goes backwards, and that's just him trying to make a play.
So now we're under a minute, and some of the folks can start heading for the freeway. And Notre Dame will have lost yet another postseason game. Their 8th in a row. Quick throw near side. There's the first down. John Carlson making the catch. No, it's Anthony Fasano. His 2nd. And the funny thing about Ohio State's offense, they don't throw to the tight ends.
No, they don't.
They don't throw to the tight ends.
Tight ends have very few catches.
Time now for our Wrangler New Generation Player of the Game. Is it Allen?
Well, I think that...
Go ahead, pal.
Yeah, my playing days are long over with, but how can you not give it to Ted Ginn Jr.? 8 catches for 167 yards and 1 touchdown. 2 rushes for 73 yards, 1 touchdown. Every time he touches the football, it's an emergency.
Yep.
And he really showed how explosive he is today. Every time he got the ball. I remember a 44-yard gain. He got on just a little simple out route. He makes somebody miss and runs down the sideline. So Ted Ginn is our player, new generation player of the game.
Yep. Brought to you by Wrangler Jeans Company, new generation of Wrangler. They talk a lot about Steve Breston. Ted Ginn is no slouch.
No, in fact, I would venture to say that Ted Ginn is a little bit tougher than Steve Breston. And that's an objective point of view, but, well, Ted Ginn really broke loose today.
Shelton and Samardzija out to the far side. Stovall's had a big game receiving for Notre Dame. Wide to the right. Maurice goes out on a pretty high note. Quinn rolling, throws behind, gets it up to Walker, and Walker makes the grab up around the 40-yard line. That's the 7th catch for Darius Walker.
And Notre Dame had to use this last timeout right there.
That'll stop the clock with 31 seconds remaining. Notre Dame trailing here by a score of 34-20. And so my stat will be increased. From January 1, 1994 to January 2, 2005, 4,019 days since Notre Dame won a postseason game. 96,456 hours since they won a postseason game. 5,737,360 minutes since they won a postseason game. And 347,241,600 seconds since they won a postseason game.
In other words, it's been a long time.
A long time.
But I still feel good about the prospects of this football team. You know, even though they're going to lose this game, you know, they didn't give up. And
it's been a great year. It's been an exciting year.
Yes, it has. And you never felt that they were out of a game. Now, this is the worst defeat they're going to take all year long. But, you know, this is an Ohio State team that really put it on them.
And you know that Charlie Weiss is not going to be happy with this result. He wasn't happy when he lost 2 by 3.
No.
Back to throw. Quinn pump fakes. Down he goes. 5th time he's gotten sacked today.
That's Mike Kudla.
So Kudla does it again. Between 57 and 47, they've been all over the back of Brady Quinn.
Well, another year comes to a close, and Ohio State, give them all the credit. They played a wonderful game. I've got to give credit to Notre Dame because they never gave up, but Ohio State just a little too strong.
So the 36th Tostadas Fiesta Bowl goes to the Buckeyes of Ohio State. The final score is 34-20. Ohio State will have the Channel Lock post-game report when we return. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Notre Dame football on Westwood One. Tony Roberts along with Alan Pickett here at Sun Devil Stadium, where the Buckeyes of Ohio State have prevailed. They finished their season in grand fashion 10-2, tied for the Big Ten championship with the Penn State Nittany Lions, and the Irish fall to 9-3. As you look at tonight's final stats, brought to you by Consort Hair Care for Men, hairsprays and gels, guaranteed to give you a great hold. Ohio State with 27 first downs, Notre Dame had 22. The Buckeyes rolled up 617 yards in total offense, 275 rushing, 342 passing. Notre Dame had 348 for the game, 62 on the ground. Remember, they had 63 yards in the first quarter, 286 passing, 348 total. Brady Quinn, 29 out of 45, no touchdowns, no interceptions. And Troy Smith, 19 out of 28, threw for 2 scores. Ohio State had the only 2 turnovers of the game. They lost the ball twice on fumbles. Meanwhile, penalties, Notre Dame had 6 for 48. Ohio State 7 for 53. Notre Dame had 73 offensive plays. The Buckeyes had 74. And some days, Alan, the better guy takes you to the woodshed and cleans your clock. And that's exactly what happened tonight in Tempe.
When you look at the numbers, it's a butt-whooping 617 yards of
72. Yeah, you're right, 17. All right.
That is a butt-whooping, and, you know, Ohio State put it on them, and so Notre Dame's got some work to do.
It's time now for our Sylvania player of the game.
Well, you had mentioned the passing yards. You didn't mention the person. Troy Smith, quarterback for Ohio State, 19 out of 28. That's 68% on his completion percentage. And 342 yards, 2 touchdowns, but more importantly, bought time for himself, kept himself alive, kept drives going with his feet, and really was the difference in this ball game.
And a couple of times at third down in the last couple of minutes of the ball game, completed the pass that gave them the first down and helped Ohio State retain possession. Yeah, so Troy Smith is our Sylvania player of the game. Sylvania makes a $1,000 donation in his name to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Sylvania, see the world in a new light. Well, the best catch of the game had to be the one that Smith lofted down the left sideline, and settling underneath it was Santonio Holmes, 85 yards, over-the-shoulder grab, just a textbook throw, picture-perfect catch, the grip of the game, brought to you by Channel Lock Pliers. Get a grip. Santonio Holmes did, and scored the biggest touchdown of the game as far as length is concerned, 85 yards for the score. And now always the tough one, the Guardian Life Insurance offensive lineman of the game.
I'm going to give it to John Sullivan, who played most of the game at center. They moved Bob Morton over to the left guard in place of Dan Santucci, but John Sullivan, a steady game. The blitzes and the pressure came from the outside, so he kept his men off the quarterback.
Guardian will donate $1,000 to the Notre Dame General Scholarship Fund in honor of his efforts tonight. A place we all want to be. You go there with Guardian, and you can't say enough about Darius Walker. He had 3 touchdowns. He had runs of 20, 10, and 3. But, you have to watch Darius Walker. Not only has become a very good pass receiver and a record-breaking pass receiver for Notre Dame, but he has done, and we saw it at the very beginning of the year, he couldn't pick up the blitz like you couldn't catch a mosquito that was trying to bite you. But at the end of this year, he picks up the blitz. He does a great job of blocking for Brady Quinn.
He became a more complete back.
Player. Right.
And if you want to play on Sundays, the number one thing you have to do is pick up the blitz. So he's increased his chances of doing that, and can't say enough about his running ability. I mean, that's...
Well, he got his 1,000 yards. He set the record for running backs receiving. But I'll bet you, if you ask Darius Walker what he is most proud of, he will tell you it is his ability to pick up the blitz.
No doubt about it. And that's what gives Brady a lot of the stats, because one of the things that teams try and do is put pressure, and if you can get one by the running back, it ruins your chances of completion. So, excellent job this year, becoming a more complete player.
Quinn, a rough night by Quinn standards, 29 out of 45, 286 yards, no touchdown receptions, and sacked 5 times for a minus 41. Here's a team that allowed only 16 sacks coming into this game.
Yeah, and Ohio State, one of the leading sack teams in the country, I think 5th in the country in sacks, coming in this game with 39 sacks. They can just flat get after you. Real strong defense, and had also good coverage in the secondary, that caused some of those sacks.
And getting back to Darius for just a moment, he did rush for 90 yards and 16 carries.
Yeah, I mean, that was what kept most of the drives that they scored on alive, was his ability to run the football.
Well, this season is over, buddy. It's 9-3. But then again, a year ago when we were getting whipped at the Inside.com Bowl at the the ballpark, the baseball field.
Yeah, Chase Field now.
Exactly, Chase Field now. Who would have thought that we'd be back in Tempe, Arizona for a second straight year, and this time playing against the number 4 team in the country, the Ohio State Buckeyes, and certainly one of the better defensive teams that Notre Dame has faced all year long.
Well, I mean, what we saw was Notre Dame rise to that elite level of college football, where we didn't think that it was going to be possible after finishing 6-6 and wondering what this team needed to do. But Charlie Weiss did a fabulous job, and what he did was he realized he had the players, just needed to tweak it a little bit, and the guys really wanted to perform. They wanted to win for their coach, they wanted to win for the university, and more importantly, wanted to win for themselves, and had a fabulous year.
And he's going to be doing a little more tweaking probably as soon as he gets on that airplane and heads back to South Bend, Indiana. Again, our final score was 34-20, the Ohio State Buckeyes over Notre Dame's Fighting Irish. Notre Dame loses its 8th consecutive postseason game, but I'm going to say right now that Notre Dame will be back in Tempe to play at the new Arizona ballpark out in Glendale next year and play for the national championship.
Man, I'd love to be by your side.
You're going to be there, pal, because we're going to be playing. My guess is it's going to be Florida. Urban Meyer against Charlie Weiss. What a matchup. I got it already. I sound like Lee Corso. Again, our final score. Too much spaghetti. Again, our final score, 34-20, Ohio State over Notre Dame. This is Westwood One's exclusive coverage of Notre Dame football.